right. What's going on, guys? This is a G2 Fancast Season 1, Episode 4. There was an action-packed week for the LCS and LEC, and there's usually always so much to discuss generally, but what's up, man? How are you doing?
I'm doing good, dude. Had a good week.
I'm
had
old.
A good, yeah, it was a good week for League.
Oh, I forgot, because when we
matches.
first met, you said, when we first met, you said you were engaged. I forgot to ask you. Are you guys are still getting married, right? Okay. Everything's going pretty good. Okay. I know we don't usually talk about girls, because girls are gross.
Yeah.
So
everything's
what goes into planning a wedding? Are you guys getting married in a church? Or are you guys getting married in like
No, we're Indian, so we're gonna have like a 3-day event. I don't know where exactly we're gonna get married, but it's gonna be like a Indian wedding.
From what I know, there was an Indian person I used to have on a feature on like streams in the past where she would talk about like Indians make weddings like a big spectacle.
Oh yeah.
Where like some families like to film
it's like
it.
A massive It's
why? How much family do you have?
I don't have a huge family, but she does. So it's gonna be like a 4-1 ratio, just like her family versus mine. But it'll be all it's like the thing that parents look forward to. So it's gonna be fun. By the way, have you ever had these things?
What are those?
It's like no, dude, they're bomb. They're so good.
Oh,
they're like little crackers coated in like chocolate or pistachio. It's like this Asian food that I just randomly picked up while I was getting a bubble tea. It's so fucking good. Unreal. S tier.
What was I doing earlier? What was I eating? No, I got some fast food. I had some Del Taco. I know they said Del Taco isn't good around the other parts of the country like it is kind of where I'm from. Because we have the first one. But it's like, oh my God. Dude, I love homemade food. But ever since, my mom had passed away like years ago and I live on my own, making home cooked meals is, whoo. Bro, I used to burn minute rice. I'm not even kidding. Bro, I was terrible at cooking. Like I'm so terrible at cooking. Dude, right? I don't think the idea of cooking is hard. The issue here is
grocery shopping.
That part I actually like.
Really?
I like shopping actually. I don't really hate it like a lot of people do. I actually
like shopping, just like you. Yeah.
I like shopping.
I don't like the grocery shopping part. Or the cutting of the vegetable part. I just like the cooking part. The cooking part is pog. I love cooking. I just hate the prep work and the grocery shopping aspect. Which is why when I got HelloFresh, dude, it was so expensive for no reason, but it was so nice. Just to get a bag of everything you need and then just immediately start cooking. It was the best.
But the best part about going out to shopping, you get up, you get ready, you go shopping.
That's you pick you're productive. Yes.
Yeah, you interact with some people. Like, dude, going shopping is fun for me, but it should feel like you meet so many weirdos going out. Like you could run into a family member you haven't talked to in years. It's so fucking awkward. You just look at each other like, oh shit.
Hello? I don't have that issue. I have 4 total family members in the U.S., so I'm good.
Oh yeah,
chance of them running into them. Yeah.
Or like you'll know a guy from high school, or just I don't know. People act really weird. Like you're about to like check your food out, and you have this dude looking at you like all cockeyed, like he wants to say something to you, but he doesn't want to. It's like, hey, hello. Like he's like randomly.
Never had these interactions before.
What do you mean? You just intimidate people. We need to stamp your face on like Dwayne Johnson's body and have you intimidate people. But someone actually asked me. I think it was when I first started the channel. What makes you a Cloud9 fan? And it was so weird because when I first initially started watching League of Legends, I knew nothing about the scene ever. My friend recommended the game to us. It was back when it was Worlds 2014. I saw them play, and then it was something about high, medios, balls, sneaky, and elimination, where like they never gave up despite the odds being really, really stacked against them. And it was that series against Samsung Blue that really made me their fan. Like I was pretty much a solidified fan after that balls game where he had that Rumble Ultimate. But it was the Samsung Blue series where Medios did that flash kick on Dade, and they killed Dade and the other guy, and they were trying to run up and finish the game.
Yeah.
And then they messed up, and if you go back and watch that game, it could have been a game 5. They messed up really badly because Hart landed a 5-man bubble. They were locked there for like 5 seconds because this is back when Nami's bubble was actually a longer for duration. If they had dodged that bubble, they probably could have been able to end the game.
Yeah, the issue also was that Zed showed just a second too early when he was going for that backdoor high. I mean, and I don't know if you remember that, like fucking sneaking
I
from
remember that.
bush to bush to
Yeah.
bush to bush. He just showed 1 second too early, or that might have actually worked. That play would have been one of the sickest plays in like
Mhm.
world's history too. But yeah, I think I'm a fan because C9 is like one of the teams besides all the miracle shit that they've pulled off, like there's been some fairy tale shit that they've managed to pull off over the years with the reverse sweeps and all that. Like the reason why I'm a C9 fan is pretty simple. They keep the game, regardless of what iteration it is,
Mhm.
like the most fun. Like the current version of C9, they're not clicking on all cylinders, at least from the top lane, but like it's so fucking fun watching them play because they're so aggressive, you know? Like, you know that if they lose, it's because they made a mistake based on a play that they initiated. They're
Mhm.
not winning or losing on someone else's term. They're dictating the terms. And they've always done that. Even with high, like shot calling, it was like, if we get dove in one side of the map, we're fucking diving the other. Or like everyone's going in on the same fucking play, even if it's a dumbass play. Like we're all in it and we're going all in. I've always loved that attitude and the way that they play League of Legends.
It was just that they never gave up despite the odds looking so bleak. Like, you
Mhm.
know, they weren't, everybody knows they weren't going to beat Samsung Blue. I say they're going to beat these top two teams because I'm their fan and I want it to happen, but
Mhm.
realistically, they were going to beat Samsung Blue. Samsung Blue is so good. Like, people got to really go back and watch those teams like Samsung White, Samsung Blue. The best team ever, my personal opinion, SKT in 2015. That's the best team ever, the best iteration of any roster. Like,
Hmm.
I
Really?
understand. I
That's
understand
debatable.
it because like it's not like they had the best players in every position. It was just that they played the game and they choked you out. And macro vision wise, they were like the
Season
best.
3, you're saying? Season 3?
Season 5, I think, was better because they were
Hmm.
Faker was more mature. I think Faker played a lot better in season 5. This is kind of in a public opinion I have with my friends. I think Faker was better in season 5
How can
because
you say that they were better though than Samsung season 4?
that's
Dude,
true.
Samsung was I don't think that either
Maybe
that
Samsung
or Damn
White.
One last year would be like my
Mhm.
two that I would look at and be like, I don't think there was ever a chance for any other team to ever win a
But that's the same thing with 2015 SKT. Like, did you go into that world thinking like, "Hey, they were gonna lose"? Dude, I knew they were gonna win.
I knew they
Like
were gonna win, but didn't they go to 5 games in
SKT in
the
2015,
finals?
no, they lost one. They only lost 2 games. They lost one to Coup Tigers in the finals, and then that's the only game they lost
Wait,
at all.
season.
Yeah, because if you go to season 5 Worlds 2015, SKT dropped 1 game, and that was to Coup Tigers in the finals. They blitzed
Oh yeah,
everybody.
this is the one with Khan.
Even
Or
at
no, 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 no.
MSI though, even at the MSI of that year, they completely like destroyed everyone. It was like Fnatic brought to the game 5 and they were beaten by EDG. And then to be fair, I agree with people, Bang and Wolf weren't the best bot lane because I think Uzi and Prey were just better. But like I had never seen a year, dude, where it was like if they even lost a tower, it was considered an upset. Like that shit was crazy. People don't understand, man. Korean dominance was like that shit only went away recently. Like they're and well, it's not even
Which is why I think that the Damn One win is like even more impressive because in
also
recent
that,
years,
yeah,
like all the
I
other
was thinking
regions
about
are
that one
like,
too. That one,
yeah,
oh my god, dude, I did not think that one were gonna lose. People are like top esports going. You didn't watch LCK. I already
yeah.
know you didn't.
Well, okay. To be fair, I also thought top esports and Damn One were going to be really close coming into the thing, but once the group stages went down, I was like, oh, okay, wow,
Yeah.
wow, this is a different level. Yeah.
Remember JDG versus supposed to be like a really good team? Yeah,
Hmm.
guys, newsflash, they did not recover. Kanavi still sucks. This team is trash.
Hmm.
This team is trash, man.
Yeah, it was
Oh
rough.
my god. And then what else do we have? And dude, I remember watching G2 first come into the league. I remember their Challenger series when Perks knocked out Svenskeren and Perks coming to the league and Perks just dominating everybody. Like
Yeah, that was unreal. That was like C9-esque in terms of how hard they came
yeah,
into the
because
scene and dominated.
people said Fnatic or Cloud9. No. Fnatic will be TSM because TSM were the original dominators, and then Cloud9 came in and started dominating.
Yep.
G2 would be Cloud9 because G2 came in and just swept everyone. It was like even thinking G2 would drop a game in a best of 5 was unheard of.
Mm-hmm.
Also remember that one game, Unicorns of Love versus Fnatic, where they picked Yorick in that base race. Remember they went down, they tried to end the game twice. This is
oh yeah, I remember that. Wait, dude, the fact that Kikis was a fucking playing for a top lane for that team. I mean, Perks actually fucking carried him through. What?
Yeah, He was a jungler on Unicorns of Love, and then next season he goes to
and he was playing top lane
in top lane, and he went to split.
Fucking crazy. Perks is insane. That's all I gotta say.
Perks will carry anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was just crazy how people think that even just with the import rule, like I can understand the owner's perspective. Like, to be fair, if you just discount our players, what if there is a caps or a perks, but he's in Korea and no team wants to give him a chance? And they can't take a chance on this guy because of the rules, though. Like, and then this is something also we talked about last week, man. It's really hypocritical for some fans to go, well, I want to support NA teams and blah, blah, blah. But most people's favorite teams are TSM, Cloud9, and Team Liquid, and 100 Thieves, which traditionally, if you look at just outside the people that got grandfathered in, you have Tactical, Blabber, Vulcan,
Spica. I think if you like fucking listen to Reddit, then yeah, it's fucking delusional. That take is delusional because of the way that they present the take. I think there's valid, and we talked about this. There's valid opinions on both sides. There's an actual argument to be had on both sides, but the way it's presented on Reddit is like, if you're not with us, you're just the fucking sin of the earth. Yeah, and that's just like Reddit being overreactionary and all that. You just have to ignore that. But the reasonable take on the other side is that there needs to be some level of commitment from the bottom tier teams to grow talent. And there needs to be some kind of commitment to making the infrastructure better, even if we do increase the number of imports. You still can't give up on talent in the United States.
Did you watch the Hotline League episode last night? So I generally don't watch sometimes. I watched. So Giliotta brought up a good point that I talked about last show. Fans say they want something, but then their actions speak totally different. Yep. It's night and day different. If you look at Cloud, only take the less popular team in terms of fans, potentially is Team Liquid. I think Cloud9 TSM had more fans just for this league. If you look at just Team Liquid's squad content, just for the League of Legends team, it does better than Golden Guardians, IMT, and CLGs. FlyQuest.
Yeah, of course.
Like, fans say they want to support NA players.
They only care about who wins.
Yeah. So that's why I told people, like, you guys don't know what you want. Your actions say completely different about how you are saying things. You say you want these NA players and do well, but you're over here flaming Niles every single time he sucks in lane. It's not even just the flame. It's more like you guys support the teams that have the import players. That's you're a Cloud9 fan. I'm C9 fan. Half the people in our Discord are Cloud9 TSM Team Liquid fans. Other than if you're not that, you're G2 and Fnatic fans.
Yep, and that's what I mean. Like,
but you want to develop NA talent, and
which is why you have to have a much more nuanced take. Like, it's not imports versus not imports. It's we want good imports. We don't want bad imports. That's true. It's as simple as that. Like, we want if you want more imports that are good, I am with you. If you want more imports and you don't care if they're good or bad, I'm not with you. Like that. It's simple as that. Like, I want the imports that are coming in to elevate the league. Yeah. If bringing them in, if CLG brings in Finn, I don't think that elevates our league. Or maybe it does to a marginal degree, but not enough that a person that would have talent like Revenge getting a chance at that spot would elevate the region. So that's all I want. I just want some rookies to get at least a chance to compete at the high stage. But yeah, I definitely want more imports. But
I also think that it's just along the lines of, if you look at just right now, Cloud9, TSM at the top of the standings, Team Liquid kind of fighting for the top of the standings. If you look at just right now, when we're recording the stream, Golden Guardians, a team full of NA players, are at the bottom of the standings. IMT's pretty much full NA if you count the Oceanic import rules. They're at the bottom of the standings. CLG, full of import players. Sorry, not import players. Sorry, 3 NA players, bottom of the standings. FlyQuest, bottom of the standings with 3 NA players. I'm just saying, guys. The players,
but Palafox built different. Just gotta say, that's all I gotta say before we move on. Palafox is fucking great. Okay,
like, it seems with the NA players aren't even doing well. And someone said you wouldn't know if they're providing a higher level of gameplay. Yes, you would, because they would be at the top of the standings. If these NA players really were going to provide a higher level of gameplay, you would be at the top of the standings because you're providing a higher level of gameplay, which means you would be winning a lot more games. That's just how that works. It doesn't matter what you think the fans can see. It would be proven by results. That's just how that would work, though. If you're providing a high level of gameplay and you're a good player, you'd be like, what, first, second place? But these teams are not. The teams with Stixay are in like 9th place. That's just like, I swear we're living in like delusional land where people want like these fairy tale ending. It's not gonna happen, dude. And people were like, well, you know, if you have why call it LCS if there's not gonna be NA players? So that's another pivot. It's already happening. The NA players are the minority in their league already. Your worst fears are already happening. What? Your worst fears already happening. It's already an important league by how fans interact and by how our best teams are.
Yeah, and we're gonna continuously be made fun of it by the other regions unless you own up to it. Like, you just got to own up to the fact that this is a league where we want talented people from other countries to come in and play for us. Like, that's what we want. We want to pay them a good amount of money to represent the LCS. So it's just like, I completely agree with you. Fans don't know what they want. One, and number two, they aren't able to present a nuanced way of dealing with things. Like, I personally believe that the way both Reggie and Jack handled the issue in terms of communication was absolutely atrocious and does not deserve any type of support or defense. Like, I think that the way that Reggie responded, the manner in which he responded, was completely uncalled for, and I'm glad he got fined. I think that Jack taking maybe it was just like him just saying a comment out of nowhere.
I got what he was saying though, but
I do. I understand the nuance of what he's saying, but the way that you present it, you can't present it like that. It comes off as super like SJW shit. Like, it just comes off as super cringy. Like, like you need to approach it in a much more like a hard and facts manner. Like, okay, you want more imports. That is your goal. You don't want all imports. You want more imports. Classify that. What do you mean by more imports? You want more imports like perks. You want more imports like, the top talented. Like, they could have done so much more to explain this. And then Reggie just doubles down on it recently. It comes out with 3 reasons that why we should have imports. Like, we don't know this already. Which is the population base, the fucking ping. I'm like, we have fucking hammered this home 100 different times. We don't care about any of that as NA fans. Like, shut up with your excuses. We do want more imports, but this is not the way you present the argument.
Yeah,
like,
it's weird how he mentioned in his graph he doesn't even put 2014 Worlds, because I think it's even little things like that that make me mad with him. If you're gonna present a narrative, present the whole narrative.
Yeah, but I will say this. I will say this before we criticize both Reggie and Jack too hard, which is, if you look at. You can criticize Reggie all you want, actually. I don't fucking care. But I will have one defense for Jack, which is, if you look at the actions and not words that are spoken, out of every org in the LCS, there's only one org that has successfully cultivated NA talent repeatedly every single year, and that's C9. Like, Jack has been able to create an academy system that works, find talent, recruiters, create and nurture that talent, and allow them to transition to the LCS stage. He's doing this time and time again, and that's what we want from the other LCS teams. So he has the leeway to say, we want more imports. Like, this is a guy that's managing it, making it work, and he's still saying, we need more imports in order to compete at the highest level. Like, that should come with like some level of clout and credibility. So I just want to say that. And I'm not just saying that as a C9 fan. I still believe that what he said was a little bit cringe, but it's like,
it was really harsh. It could have come off like, I understand.
It wasn't harsh. It was just cringe. Like, you need to be a better spokesperson, and you need to know, like, if you use the words like xenophobic and racist to describe an action that is obviously a very valid opinion, you can't just discard an opinion and call it by calling it xenophobic and racist, because that negates actual xenophobic and racist actions. So like, you need to be a little more mature with how you respond to fans like that. But his overall point is correct. He just needed to be the guy that delivered the good message, the correct message, because he was the only one with the credibility and the clout to do so, and he kind of fumbled and fucked up. And now this topic is not going to be approached again for at least another year. Like, the community is very one-sided on this now. The casters are also very one-sided on it. And the player base is coming out and speaking out against it also in a way that is very disingenuous, I will say, but it's too late now. There's too much momentum on the other side of things. You got to let this go. Like, this is not a winning battle anymore.
This is kind of what I want, what I think. Before I get into that, there's 5 people watching, which is perfectly fine. There's people in the stream talking today. Can you guys like the stream? That'd be greatly help the stream out. Just obviously hit that like button. It's free, and share the stream also. But before I pass that point up, so with Jack's point, I kind of understand what he was saying, because that person said, "I don't want to watch a league full of Koreans and imports." Well, newsflash to that fan, you already are. So your argument already fails. Jack should have known just by his argument, that person's argument is already fumbled by typing on his fucking keyboard.
Yeah, and what he was saying is, how dare you say that an Asian person that comes to this country, just because they're Asian, will not obtain a fan base? Like, right? Like, that's what he is getting at, which is absolutely true. You can't just hate on someone or hate on the idea of having someone just because they're Asian. Like, you can't do that. That is actually racist. But the fan wasn't saying, I don't want to see... I don't think the fan was saying, at least this is my interpretation of it, that I don't... he was saying, I don't want a complete culture shift where we import full Chinese, full Korean, full non-English speaking teams. And I don't personally find that product to be appealing. As a fan, he's allowed to say that. Like, you don't have to watch a league if you don't want to watch it. I have a similar opinion on watching LPL. They are the best league in the world. They have the best talent. I don't fucking like watching it because, one, I'm not that drawn to the casters. I'm not very invested. Like, if a Kobe or Quickshot were casting, I would definitely watch it. And 2, it's really hard for me to follow along what is going on because they're all... I don't know the narratives. Like, who hates who? What's the rivalry? Who, you know what I mean? Like, it's very hard to follow these things unless you're very invested in the scene. And so I get where the fans coming from, especially casual fans that say they want to watch someone that represent them and their region. But Jack and the fan are both right to their own opinion. I just think that Jack needs to be the higher person there. He can't use those comments.
And it's just with Reggie's graph, and I'll show it to you guys. I don't hate the graph. The graph has one minor issue. Why are you taking 2016 to 2020?
No. That entire fucking thing is bullshit. Even the player base shit. If you talk about player base and you use that player base argument, you better fucking take 3/5 of EU's population and say this is what we're trying to compare with. Because all of our teams that are any good have 2 imports, right? EU does not have 2 imports every fucking team that's good. They don't need imports. We need imports just to compete. So with those imports, we should be able to compete at least at a slightly higher level. Like, we should be able to make semis once in a while. And the fact that you're using player base and ping as the argument to justify that, miss me with that bullshit. That's all I gotta say. Because the teams that do well from NA are all competing at the same level. So why is it that your team goes 0-6 at Worlds repeatedly? You know what I mean? Like, you have no right to talk about any ping and player base issues when your team is going to Worlds and continuously misperforming. You're coming back. You're switching up your teammates. You're importing more players. Nothing is changing. It's not like Reggie just comes from a place where it's hard to really buy into his point because every one of his points has no credibility because he hasn't proven the alternative.
His points also, like... he says vague points where I don't know if he's trying to not give information, but if you're trying to give out Worlds information with NA, why are you just taking 2016 to 2020? That's like no. You're negating something. You competed in the 2013 World Championship, and you're also discrediting accomplishment Cloud9 had when they got our groups, and which his own organization got out of 2014. Cloud9 and TSM both made it a group stage.
Yeah. I mean, he's trying to he's using data to justify his own points. Right?
It paints a false narrative on what actually happened, though, and I personally think he really shouldn't be putting out stats like that because first of all, he's not putting out the correct. If you're gonna put out stats, put out the correct stats, and also say that Cloud9 outside of TSM's quarterfinal in 2014, outside of that, it's literally just Cloud9.
That's a much more fucking nuanced argument, man. Like, can we finally, after 10 years of watching this league, admit that the way to get to Worlds is testing completely different things than what it takes to win at Worlds, man? Like, getting to Worlds is about consistency, stability, and being able to, over the course of fucking 10, 15 weeks, decipher how an enemy, your main opposition plays, right? Like, TSM can do that because they have people like Bjergsen and Parth or whoever it is analyze and play games over and over and over again. But they have no adaptability. They have no ability to creatively think when they get to Worlds, and they struggle every single time. Can you finally look at that and say, hey, we need to actually draft teams like C9 does, like create a culture like C9 does, or at least similar to how they do it, and find a way to nurture NA talent. Like that should be your takeaway from this as an NA team. Like say, okay, we didn't get the high success that we wanted, but another org that went through the exact same hurdles as we did is somehow coming out on top every single time when they go to international competitions. Maybe we should emulate them rather than saying, "Oh, whoa, like everything sucks. We need to import more players." Like that's where the argument falls short on me, and which is why I was so disappointed that Jack couldn't be the one to deliver a more succinct,
owner with the most success ever.
And he's the only one that can talk shit about this. Like,
yeah,
if any other owner comes out and says we need more imports, sorry, but miss me with that bullshit because like you have had the imports.
Like, dude, I love Steve, but he only had the one success at MSI 2019.
Yeah, and even Steve has a more room to talk, in my opinion, than Reggie does about this. Like, your org is unbelievably successful in NA, but you can't tell me that you need more imports, and once you have more imports, you'll win. I don't believe you. And if I also believe that TSM is the type of team that would import people like Treats, like fucking Kabe, and just completely butcher the import market because they would come here, they would not succeed, they would be in a culture that is not helping them become the best version of themselves, and then other imports will not want to come here. That's why that's what I said about Perks, by the way. Well, this was like weeks and weeks ago, and I was like, one of the biggest things that Perks needs to do is succeed, because if Perks fails, if the experiment for Perks fails, if C9 doesn't make Worlds, if something catastrophic happens, it's going to be a permanent death sentence for imports, top level imports that want to come to NA. Like if Perks can't fucking do it, no one can do it, right? So that's why I think like these top level teams like TL and right now what is 100 Thieves, and I guess what it's looking like is TSM. Yes, I want you guys to import more players because I believe that will incentivize other great imports to come to our region. I don't want lower tier teams to import players because those lower tier teams are not going to give the best culture and environment for these players, and they're going to bust basically in NA, and other top level players are not going to want to come after watching them bust in NA. So like that's my whole point. Like we need to be a lot more nuanced with this debate, but it's not going to happen.
Reginald, the dude who had Treats on his TSM roster last year, and then now Treats, if you watch him in the LEC,
he's doing fine.
He's actually smurfing the bro. He's actually so good. What the hell?
Last week he was really good. Yeah, and this week too,
dude. Like he had TSM. Reginald of all people should not be talking about developing any talent.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to hear this guy shit about developing talent. What the hell?
I don't want this to come off as just nonstop TSM hate. I'm just saying, like, you can't do that. Like every time he comments on something, the fucking topic just turns to ashes, man. Like I swear to God, this happened before when Reggie was commenting about beating C9 and ending the C9 run to Worlds or whatever. And then fucking team goes 0-6 after he's talking all that shit on Twitter.
I hated that narrative where people were like, "Yeah, if Cloud9 went to Worlds, they wouldn't have done as well." You're actually retarded. Anybody who believes that is actually just retarded.
Fucking Golden Guardians this year could have went to Worlds and done exactly the same thing. What do you mean they went 0-6? What? What do you mean?
Like, dude, Reginald, he did something good. He apologized to Vulcan, and I even said in my video I did earlier, it makes no sense to apologize, dude. We live in a society where even if you apologize and I believe he's genuinely sincere about his apology to Vulcan, doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter because people you're fucked if you do, you're fucked if you don't. That's just how the world is. It's not just not a him problem. That's just a lie problem.
Oh yeah, I was talking to my fiance. Like we're getting addicted to people's downfalls. Like that is like we're actually like as a society,
TV, bro. No, yeah, you're right. No, I agree, man.
We love to tear people down, but as I'm tearing down Reggie, actually. The shame on me, but like I feel like you have to comment on personalities and as like esports personalities. I don't hate Reggie as a person. I should clarify that. Like I just don't think that he as an owner he's making the right decisions right now.
me and my friend sat behind Reginald back when Mithy and Sven were on the roster. And then when Mithy would miss Orin ultimates as a support, he's like, man, he's playing really bad right now. I was like, dude, shut the fuck up. He's right there. He was literally, Travis and Reginald were below us in the seat. Literally.
That's so funny.
I could have touched him like on his shoulder. We were that close to him. I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Get these, guys, get the likes up. There's 6 of you watching. Perfectly, 6 likes. But Aaron, nice to meet you, man. Enables Rob when C9 can go to Worlds. Like, right? People think just because they did badly in NA doesn't mean that they would have done well internationally at Worlds, because Enables C9 were already doing well last year. The issue here is that they couldn't get better because of the players on the other LCS orgs. So
yeah, I don't want to make excuses for C9.
No,
I don't. Like, I mean, they didn't deserve to go to Worlds, but
this is known, though. If you go to a different region, you play against better players, there's a good chance you get better. I think in a better environment with better players, they could have actually improved, because Ven and Vulcan went to Korea last year, and they got really good together. Who's to say?
I agree that it would have been a better showing for NA if C9 went to Worlds, obviously, but that's just pure bias talking. Like, I genuinely... No. I mean, I do believe that there's reason for it, but that being said, I think that it's more so for the fact that C9 was the only team all year that was playing aggressive playstyles, and that's what was rewarded at Worlds. Like, if you played aggressive, you were going to win the game, as opposed to passive like TSM did for the last 3 games.
Oh, Chaz is new. So Chaz is a guy from my main channel, guys. What's the best region? Between Korea and China. But since if you're going by just like titles, it'd be Korea.
I don't fucking know.
It's like China was always considered second best. Then when they became the best, people said they're overrated. I was like, what? They're always considered second best. So at some point, they're going to be better than Korea anyway. If they're second best, at some point, they might be first. It's just how sports work.
Yeah, I actually don't know who's better, because it's like literally impossible to look at the two styles, see the gigantic like, they're not playing the same style in either region. Like, one is playing hyper aggressive and one's playing hyper controlled. I have no idea what style is better. I would guess that Korean play style is better, but I have no fucking clue which region would be better right now. It depends on what you like in League. And by the way, Nick named about Monte Cristo's whole format. I've been pushing for that for like fucking forever. I want more international competition.
I wouldn't mind that. I don't like the whole league format, but I want more international competition.
I want international tournaments. I would fix everything. Fuck the import rule. Just have more international tournaments so NA players can compete against other international players. Like, fucking... I hate the fact that... Okay, the COVID is the only reason why that shouldn't be a thing. Otherwise, literally, have it be that every team just travels for 2 months at a time. Maybe the visa situation is actually just fucking impossible, actually. But I would love it if they could just like migrate 2 months at a time at different, like, each season is like the Korea season, then the fucking LPL season, then the LEC season, and then it ends in NA or whatever it is, right? Like, that would be so sick. If you just had a 40-team format and they just moved.
Oh no, dude, that's a nightmare logistically.
Oh no, let's just say I'm just saying if you had an ability to create like a fucking super server where everyone could actually play internationally and not have any ping issues or something like that, that would be the sickest thing ever. That would be unbelievable.
All right, guys. So we're gonna start with the topics. We'll start with Reginald's. That was supposed to be inside the actual stream topics, but didn't get a chance to put it there earlier. He says, the import rules creation in the first place created disadvantages for the LCS because we were the region with high ping and a low player base. I'm asking for there to be changes, not preferential treatment. Preferential treatment. Good God, words, spelling. Holy shit. God damn.
And I think that Dom's response to him, by the way, in that tweet is also really good. It's like it just shows the lack of context that he's sharing.
Dominic says, but we weren't even the region with high ping in the first place. We had 30 ping for pro players up until the end of Season 5 with the import rule being created after Season 4. Super strange that they then decided to move the server and create a high ping environment for pros. Yeah, I remember when it happened. I remember playing League back in the day, and that server was in LA. Bro, that shit was... Bro, you were like, gotta go fast. That shit was insanely fun. Bro. And then they moved to... I remember when they announced they moved it to Chicago, and you just felt a difference in the game. Like, it wasn't like it was... Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Are you West Coast?
I am in California. You are in like Chicago, right?
No, I'm East Coast. So before that, I was playing on 130 ping. So for me,
Oh, I
the
understand
fucking move
why.
was amazing.
I
Yeah, now
understand
I
why
play
they
on
moved
30
it.
ping. Now I play on 30 ping.
I play on
And
like 60. Bro, that's just
yeah,
horrifying.
yeah, I believe that. But yeah, exactly. That it's just rough.
Oh, Aaron, thank you for being here, man. You've been putting out a lot of comments. Sorry, me and Cove just been talking. So, have you guys seen the show? Yeah, I have. The only thing I didn't like about the show, it wasn't that I did hate the show. I actually like Monte Cristo, and I actually like Thorin. I actually like the people they have on the show. One issue I had, only one issue out of the whole show. Thorin said Licorice ran it down in 2020. Just straight up didn't watch the games. What the actual hell? Licorice has been the best.
Was that the one where
about the import rule restriction?
Where He Who Must Not Be Named was also on?
Oh,
Richard Lewis. Yeah,
Richard Lewis?
was he on that show actually?
Yeah,
Genuine question.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I've been meaning to watch that. It is recommended for me like 5 times over.
I watch it.
It's
definitely a good watch. I would.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it for sure. I haven't watched it yet, Aaron.
The only issue I have with the show, that's it was just a side comment. Other than that, I like the show. I thought it was fine. It was just that Thorin said Licorice ran it down. I was like, no, he did not run it down on 2020.
What were the main points? Like, what was I would say, what was Richard Lewis's take on the whole situation? Was he pro or con import?
It's hard to tell. I think some of them, I think pretty much all of them were for removing it. Richard's point was Reginald and Jack don't really understand that if you're in the LCS, you should understand you're probably not going to win Worlds from an owner perspective, because being an owner in the LCS is different than being an owner, let's say, in the LPL, the LEC, the LCK. I think what he was trying to allude to, without giving away a lot of information, was that the LCS owners want things in the LCS to be changed, and it's something you could also tell the owners want too in their press conferences, that they want something better to change with the league. Now, it's hard to say, like, what do they need to change differently, though? Like, what does the LCS need differently outside of... I personally think the LCS just needs to do better internationally. That's it. I personally think that's all they need to do. Like, I think that's why the viewership has decreased over the years. I don't think it's because of the players. I don't think it's because of the import rule. I don't think it's because of the people here. I don't think it's the production. Nothing. I think it's just because we haven't done well internationally.
Yeah, I would be surprised. It's like what nickname I said. Like, I would be very surprised if everyone actually wanted to get rid of
Monty, he wanted to have the Super League that you talked about.
Yeah.
Which pretty much means you're for import.
I don't think that the owners, I think they're going for too much of a Hail Mary here. Maybe they're like going for the extreme and then trying to negotiate in the middle somewhere. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that it makes sense to get rid of the import rule completely. Like, maybe have 3 imports or something like that. Seems like the next step forward. Mm-hmm. Just suddenly saying, oh, all import restrictions are off is really, really silly.
I also think that when it comes about money, also they brought some nice talking point in the show that was brought about money being brought to the scene. Like, has the NALCS really put in the money that they've gotten from all these sports leagues? Sports leagues, like the NBA. Have they really put the money towards actual better use? Like, have they really did it though?
Yeah, but I have no fucking idea how to.
Yeah, but you can tell through results. But you can tell through results, like outside of Cloud9, have these other orgs really been using this money?
I don't think I think they need to do it for production purposes, right? Like, it's all about how do you invest that money to get more views and stuff in return. But I actually just don't fucking know how.
Nick, thank God
I'm not a financial analyst.
I agree with this. Please remove the import rule for Brazil, Turkey, and the other minor regions like Latin America, Brazil. Why do those guys count as imports? I'm not saying they're bad players, because they definitely better than me. They play it competitively, but they do not need to count as imports like Australia.
I agree 100%.
There's no reason why a player like Newbie should count as an import. Newbie is trash. Sorry, anyone who likes Golden Guardians, Newbie sucks.
Yeah.
Why would he count as an import? That'd be the worst. He's literally worse than Ryoma last year as an import. This shit's crazy, dude.
But then I would also say, like, that's fine, but I would also want like the top tier players from every region to not be classified as imports either. Like, I want there to be incentive. Yeah, I want there to be incentive to recruit top level talent. The fact that these OPL and other regions are still classified as imports, Honestly, it makes me feel a little better because I know a org like CLG is just salivating to import like a mid-tier OPL mid laner and just replace Pobelter, dude. Like, I just know it's gonna happen, and at least this is preventing them from doing it to some degree. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't want another Finn, dude. I want people to import great talent. I don't want
What kind of
mediocre
game is
talent.
this? This is League of Legends, Chaz. Actually, Chaz, you don't even have to play the game. You just watch the regions. That's it. They'll actually, to be fair, I'm gonna give credit to the casters. When I first went to my first ever LCS game, the casters explained the game so well to the point where I got to learn the game at a base knowledge. So I would say if you want to get into it, just watch the games. Watch any region you want. I'll give you some channels to subscribe to. The casters do a really good job at explaining things to new people. I don't care what people say.
Yeah, or you can hit me up on Discord and I'll watch with you, dude. I'll explain it.
Yeah,
I'll break it down for you.
Yeah, he's like he'll be able to do it. I'll be able to do it. We can get you in, man, because you know he Chaz is a sports fan. He NBA, NFL. So like, if you would understand that stuff, dude, then League is perfectly fine. It's almost the exact same thing, except we have players.
I view League the same way I view chess, dude. It's literally it's more
checkers. Why don't you like checkers? That's an actual fun game, man.
Oh my fucking god!
Don't you like checkers? Like that's a kid's game. Oh my god. All right, guys. So let's go over the standings. So yeah, those are my general points from this week. I don't hate Reginald. I don't hate anybody. The issue here is like, if you're gonna show stats that you have to do research in, why are you not showing the full thing? The world's group thing started in 2013, and that because you're painting a pie half eaten at that point. Because you're giving people already think TSM never made out of group stage, which is a lie. TSM has made it a group stage before. That's something they have did, but no one would know that if you're painting a graph half full. And it's been so long. The TSM won an IEM. Get the fuck out of my face. IEMs are trash. They're jokes. Stop. TSM won that 2015 IEM off almost luck, I want to say, because Coup Tigers actually ran it down against a 10th place LPL team. It was that horrible. IEMs were garbage back in the day. I wish they bring them back now. Unicorns of Love won an IEM, beating TSM. Do people not know this? Unicorns of Love beat TSM at an IEM to get to a final. It was Izachachi, Samix.
It's funny because Power of Evil literally fucking crashed NA fans like all tournament long, and now he's like playing for TSM. It's funny. It's hilarious. Anyways, let's go to standings.
Also, yes, I want to give a huge shout out to, the big boys right here. Big boys in blue, Cloud9. So if you guys don't follow me on Twitter, this is my main Twitter, actually. So I put out a tweet earlier today where I got my new Cloud9 hoodie on that I'm wearing right now. Obviously, Cloud9 even retweeted it. Thank you, Cloud9, for that. It was really appreciated. 119 likes. Thank you. Thank you so much, actually. All right. So let's go to 100 Thieves. So I really wanted to talk about 100 Thieves because it's hard to say. They are an interesting team. It's hard to say good. I think they're good in terms of the caliber of players. They're not good in terms of the gameplay we actually see out of them.
Yeah, I would say that their game against C9, it's like one of those matchups where if you put 100 Thieves against C9, I will say the exact same thing every single time, which is mid gap is just too fucking strong.
Oh my god,
it's going to be a major issue for them to ever beat C9 specifically. It's just too hard. Like, you can't beat. Even if there was Jensen, maybe there would be a chance. Dude, Perks is the cockiest motherfucker on the planet, and then you put him against Demonte, he just picks LeBlanc. LeBlanc is an illegal pick, by the way. He's literally just playing it because it's Demonte. He's literally just playing it because it's Demonte. He knows he's going to style on him. He did, and I think that's like the same thing as I say when G2 plays Fnatic, which they did again this week. I said the same thing fucking every single time. There's no way that they win unless something like an internet crash goes down. Okay, that's the only chance that 100 Thieves can beat C9 or Fnatic can beat G2, because stylistically they're just a complete counter matchup. I would go down the line besides top lane and say that C9 is better at every role right now compared to the 100 Thieves.
It's just that when you look at them in it's not even just the drafting phase. I've watched all their games, it's not like they're terrible. It comes back to the same thing I mentioned with this roster previously, which is what you said, Demonte. Like, if they had it's no offense to Demonte though, but if you had a better mid laner, this team actually would be a whole lot better. I'm just saying though.
I think that 100 Thieves are in the same boat as TSM, for me at least. Yeah. I think that they can win against competition that doesn't know how to react right away and has a really, really high level of macro understanding. So, like, I think it's really tough for them to beat teams with amazing supports and amazing junglers. If the enemy team has those two things and also a decent mid laner, which most teams will have a better mid laner than 100 Thieves, it's really tough for them to win the early game because mid jungle and support are what dictate whether or not you can get to mid game ahead or behind. And they're just always going to be behind in terms of tempo against 100 Thieves or against C9 because Vulcan is always first to roam. Blabber is smurfing this entire league. And in what universe does Damonte beat Perks? It doesn't happen. So it just like there's very little room for winning for them, and I think they even drafted to that. Like they tried to draft late game team comps to be like, okay, we're just gonna lose early game. Let's get the late game with Azir, and then maybe we can win. Dude, you need to get to fucking 5 items to have a chance against what C9 drafted, and C9 never builds 5 items. That's like it's just such a hard counter matchup. It's a solid 3rd to 4th place team. That's what 100 Thieves is. It's a solid 4th place team.
That's
it's a good team. I don't think they'll ever be
second. That's why I have them at 3rd place or 4th place coming into the split. Like they have a roster that's on average better 3rd place team than LCS normally has, but there's still issues in terms of mid lane. A lot of their macro decisions don't make a lot of sense sometimes.
I think that since last season, Closer and Huhi's playstyle has been really exposed. They used to do the same exact thing every single time, which is shove in bot lane, go try to take Rift Herald and use Rift Herald to pressure through Closer's pressure. But it doesn't work anymore because Vulcan is, or at least against C9, it didn't work because Vulcan is constantly being able to outshove and outroam. And Rift Herald is not the top prio. It's dragon stacking that is so meta now. And you see this shit, dude? Like this is illegal.
It's not even that. He has his wave right here with his wave pushing up, and he's in front of a LeBlanc.
Yeah, it's illegal. It's not.
This you man, if I see this in my solo queue games, that dude's hard running it down. Because look at guys, I'm just showing you right here. If you're new to the game, if you're playing Azir, why are you right? Your minion wave is right here. You should be right here where my mouse cursor is.
No, he's baiting the fact that his jungler is topside and he's right behind him. Yeah, so like basically what he's saying is my Udyr is actually about to gank you, so you better not engage on me. But if you look at the ward in the river, if you look at the ward right above here, it gives Perks all the information he needs. And,
oh my god.
Yeah, so like there's no chance his jungler's there. He follows, he doesn't buy the bait and he just kills him.
Once he died right here, I knew the game was over. Oh, like that.
That wasn't the game over. That actually wasn't the game over because, believe it or not, I think at this point, Fudge is still down a shit ton of CS. Now the game's over. This Blabber gank is why the game's over. Right here. Now Gnar is behind. Now the game's over. Because the Gnar's an only win con at that point. He needs to win top lane. But yeah.
Also, I told people that who he is, I think is a good support, but he has a limited championship pool, not in the terms of champions. He has a limited champion pool in terms of the champions he can actually play well. That's different. He can play different champions. He can only play a very few of them in a good way. And the same thing with Closer. If Closer isn't on Olaf or Lillian or Nidalee, his impact is significantly lower. Now, I don't know why, because I think Closer is really good. I think he's a fantastic jungler. I don't know if it's maybe just Damonte's like mid lane synergy holding him down, because they don't have good synergy like they had previously on Golden Guardians, which is weird.
Yeah. I think that Closer's fallen off in this meta because he can't do as much shit with his support, and he needs to do a lot of things solo. And like you need to, he's doing a lot of things solo because he has to. Him and Huhi synergy has fallen off hardcore. I think Huhi's still playing fine in terms of laning phase and in team fights, but his synergy with his jungler, at least them roaming together, has definitely fallen off. And I would start considering, as 100 Thieves, putting Huhi back on engaged support like
Set
or Gragas or something along those lines, because that is his biggest key that he brings in. Playing things like Tom Kench and against C9 is not the way to go. You need to beat C9 at their own game, whether you like it or not. Like, you have to be able to out engage them and out team fight them. That's your only chance of winning.
It's crazy. that was considered a match of the week. There was like 3 good match of the weeks this week, and that was considered one, and that was a stomp. That was like not even fair.
Wait, Aaron, it's DeMonte doesn't matter. Fudge said that.
Yeah. Oh, he did say that. Yeah, Fudge said that.
What?
Yeah. I mean, what
Fudge is talking shit.
Why? All people should not be saying anything.
No, he should.
All people should not.
Dude, he's getting clapped every lane. What do you mean?
Bro, I love Fudge.
So if you're saying Fudge is quoting Perks or something, that makes sense. That's fine. If Fudge said that, holy fuck,
like
that's
Fudge
so cocky.
Fudge of all people should not be talking shit. I don't mind shit talking. It's just like, come on, gotta pick and choose your battles here. Also, there's 9 people watching. Can we get more likes on the stream? Thank you so much. That is definitely free. Moving on to the next team.
Oh, Fudge said Perks said that. Fudge, okay. See, that's different. That's fine. That's fine. That's okay.
Yeah. Sorry, Aaron. The chat was going a little slow. Oh, yeah. Okay, Perks. That definitely sounds like Perks. I mean, I wouldn't put it past Fudge to say that either, though. I wouldn't.
Dude, that's what I said. I was like, there's no way Perks literally picked LeBlanc because it was DeMonte. It had to, like, you could tell just by the way that draft went down.
Also, FlyQuest take down TSM. That was interesting.
That was fucking Palafox diff, dude. That was the hardest mid lane carry I've seen this season. I'm not even exaggerating. Like it's so hard to explain because you look at the early game and see that he doesn't have any kills. Dude, this kid absorbed so much pressure this game. If I have a jungler or if I have a mid laner like that as a jungler in solo queue, I'm fucking adding him and saying you need to duo with me. Like for the next 10 games. He just absorbed so much pressure. Non-stop took cooldowns from TSM. It was unreal. It was like one of the best performances I've seen this split.
What's up, Aaron? Fudge is on Earth about how good / bad he is and has been performing. He's been performing very averagely. I'll say that.
No, he's bad. He's bad right now. He's losing winning lanes. He's losing lanes harder than he should be. I don't think that. I don't know.
I lost faith in this dude last week when he was on Gragas and he went like 0-6. I was like, dude, you're just not good. He's just not.
Yeah, I think he was playing Gragas into like Aatrox, which is a losing matchup. But the fact that you're down 32 CS, bro, go next. Yeah, like you can't do that. And I say this in comparison to the rest of C9. That's why I'm disappointed, right? Like if Fudge was on a team like CLG, I probably wouldn't talk shit at all.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest here. He's getting replaced next year if he doesn't clean it up.
I think he might. I still think he might get replaced in the middle of this year if they can manage a trade. Like, it is such a clear-cut weak point for the team. It's so unfortunate because he's not like a bottom 3 top laner, bottom 4. Like he deserves to be in the league. I think he's good enough to be in the LCS. It's just so bad, man. Like he is obviously the guy that C9 is like, we have to play through you if we want to get this lane ahead. But if we do play through you, we're not getting nearly as much as we need. And so it's a catch-22 for C9, where if they put him on a weak side lane, he's so far behind that if the first team fight that they have doesn't go well, generally the game's over. Because they have a lane that's so fucking far behind that they can't catch up.
Let's say Cloud9 win the split, go to MSI 2021. At MSI, they're about
He's going to get so exposed against fucking people like Khan and like there's no shot, man. He's getting fucking clapped in NA against admittedly good top laners like Someday, but the fact that you're getting clapped by Huni and who did they play last week that played Aatrox?
Oh, wasn't it? Who did they lose to last week? I forgot. They lost to oh my god, they lost to not EG. They lost to
I think it was EG, right? Oh, it was a close game against EG, but he was getting clapped by whoever. Yeah, he was getting clapped by Impact.
He was losing to Finn. Finn's been playing better than Fudge this whole split. Pretty much. Like outside of what I've seen, he's playing pretty solid.
I hate to fucking admit it, but maybe, dude, maybe there's an argument there.
He's not been playing amazing, but he's been playing solid enough to the point where he's not been such a liability. Like Finn has not been a liability for CLG. Oh, so Aaron says, who could you replace him with? Revenge.
No, I'm not even kidding. Like even Haunter would be an upgrade right now.
C9 Haunter? That sounds like a nice ring to it, but
it's not good. It's not like international caliber level yet, but I still don't understand why we didn't go for Impact or keep Licorice at this point. I'm very disappointed with this decision because like I just gave C9 the benefit of the doubt. They generally, whenever they promote a player, it turns out that they need to be promoted and they're equal or better to the replacement. But they were wrong this time around. Like Fudge is not Licorice.
Yeah.
And Licorice might be performing poorly right now, but like you can't tell me that we pay 12 million for a mid laner like Perks and then don't get impact with him. Like it doesn't make sense. Like if you're going in, go all in. Like make this the season. Go for it.
How about no? I watched Darshan in Academy. How about no? That guy sucks. That guy's trash. He's still bad.
Yeah, Darshan would not be it. Darshan's not the answer. Sorry. I think that Hanser would be a good person to add to your roster to at least 1v1 with Fudge.
I think Hanser would be a perfect upgrade to Fudge, but the issue here is like that has to come later on when the season's over. I think we're gonna get a new top laner. I'm calling it right now. We're getting a new top laner.
Why? What was the beef with Impact and C9? Why wouldn't he want to go back to C9?
Oh, that was the whole Ray situation. Remember, he didn't like that C9 got a sub for him back when they got Ray. I could see why, but to be fair, Jack said that when they went to Korea, Impact would say like he's trying out for SKT, and then Jack in his position has to get a sub because he doesn't know if Impact wants to stay. It's a weird situation, but I could understand it. Also, he never won on C9. I don't know. I don't want to blame this on Sneaky because I know people like him, but Impact and Jensen were like hard carrying Cloud9.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, and like they never won anything. And Impact and Jensen had to literally hard carry to the point where like the rest of the map would just fall apart all the time. Like I liked Sneaky and Smoothie. But let's be honest here. They were the reasons why Cloud9 couldn't win. They were mostly the reasons why. I love Sneaky.
Their jungler was also, I think they had contracts at the time. He was
contracts and Meteos. They were like falling off like a fucking cliff.
I agree. I still can't fucking believe that Jensen left. When Jensen left C9, I was so fucking
I was in shock. I was like, there's no one gonna be better. Like, I liked Niski. I think Niski's a fantastic player, but never on the same caliber as Jensen. But now we've got that in Perks. But all right, guys, FlyQuest took down TSM this week. They got their 4th win of the season. So what did you think about this game, dude?
I think I sent you a bunch of timestamps, dude, where it's just like, dude,
okay,
we gotta look at this.
Because let me get them right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to find them too.
Let me get them right now. Found.
Oh, did I send you G2 versus Fnatic timestamps?
You sent G2 versus Fnatic timestamps.
Fuck. I also have. I forget exactly where it is. You can literally go back to the play where he gets ganked mid, blows flash. I don't know if that's. You have it pulled up the stream. I mean, whatever, dude. I'll just talk about it. So,
okay,
Palafox is playing Silas, right? And he gets ganked by their support very early, and he has to blow flash. He dodges a bunch of shit. X-Cocky as fucking comes back to lane. He's playing everything on the brink, like on the very knife's edge. Then TSM tries to dive him again. He escapes the dive, and he turns the dive and kills Power of Evil by dashing past his fucking Cinder Sphere and killing him. This dude absorbed almost 3 flashes, 3 ults, and got a kill out of it. Like, he solo carried FlyQuest early game because I don't know what the fuck Licorice was on. Whatever substance abuse that he was doing top lane on that Gnar. Dude, he was down 40 CS or something like that. And the bot lane for FlyQuest was also not doing well. I don't care that Tristana was up 5-0, by the way. Like, she got all those kills because Palafox absorbed like 10 minutes worth of pressure, nonstop, turned every single team fight, and then Tristana goes in for the cleanup, gets an insane a triple kill down bottom, or I guess it's top inhibitor, and then the game is over from that point. But like, Palafox hard carried this game, and I want to give him props because this is the NA Palafox that we've been hyping up for quite a while, and this was his breakout game. Like,
I think Diamond still sucks.
Yes. Yeah.
Same thing.
I guess. Okay, we're talking about good players right now, dude. Licorice also sucks balls, like on Gnar.
He's playing so bad. Oh my god, he's playing so bad this year. It sucks. I love him though.
Yeah, but huge credit to Palafox.
He played really well. I thought he played great this game. Jose Diodo, I thought in the game looked good. Because people thought I hated Jose Diodo. No, I think Jose Diodo's a pretty okay jungler. It's just like people just overhype him. He's an okay, above average LCS jungler. That's what I think he is. I don't think he's terrible at all. I think on a better team he would actually shine more. He makes a lot of great pathing decisions.
Okay, you say that, but I'm a Mundo jungle one trick. I'm a Mundo jungle one trick. Okay, I'm in Diamond 3 as a Mundo jungle one trick, and this dude locked in Mundo jungle against TSM. Do you understand how fucking hard I was? I was so excited. And then he does the wrong clear. He does the wrong clear, dude. I was so mad. He could have been up so far against Skarner. The way that you beat Skarner as Mundo is by starting. You go to his red. You ward with your team. You say that we're 5-man invading his red. Go ward it. You start on your red. Do a leashless clear down. Back. Go to blue side. Throw a cleaver over the wall. Okay. Anyways, I'm getting too into depth with it, but. Dude, I'm so upset.
Like in the episode where he was talking about the Skarner maxes with Q and E, he's gonna start going.
Oh my god, dude!
You're like, okay, Mundo right now needs to max Q, but then at this clear you have to max W to maximize your health.
I will never give pro player advice on anything, but as a Mundo one trick, I was so mad. I was so mad. I was like, this is such a GG easy if you just path correctly here. Unfortunately, I don't think he knows about the leashless clear into the cleaver trick. But there's a way to clear on Mundo where you do red side, back, get an item advantage and a pink ward, go to top side, and you can still clear all 6 camps before the scuttle spawns. Like you can actually do that. Mundo's one of the only players where you champions where you can do that. And I'm so disappointed he didn't do it because Power of Evil only warded the Raptors after the first 2
he played really poorly that game on Power Evil on Syndra. That's the game he was on Syndra. Oh my god, that was unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
Like even with TSM, I do think they've gotten better.
Actually, I want to say I kind of disagree. I think TSM actually played pretty well. That's the fucking ridiculous part. I think they played as good as they've played in most of the games. I think Palafox literally 1v9.
Yeah, I just think that TSM is also kind of getting hard carried by their mid and their support. I don't know. Someone said Swordart's not a top 5 support. Okay, I mean I don't know what league you're watching there, but I think he's playing pretty okay. To me, he's playing okay. I can't speak for anybody else.
I think it's Spica. I think it's Spica and Power of Evil personally. That's
Lost is not the team. Playing good. Lost is not good. I agree. If TSM go to Worlds, that guy's gonna get clapped and they're gonna kick him next year. Let's be honest here. Lost is not good. Like I get it. You know, you wanted to try the guy out. You gave him a chance. It didn't work out. Like TSM need a real AD carry. Put in Cody's son. I think Cody's son would do fine, honestly. But you know, give the new guy a chance for a little bit. I'm all for giving new guys a chances, but I'm gonna be harsh on them like I'm harsh on any other veteran. Everyone here gets this flame, guys. That shit goes all the teams.
Yeah.
So for the LCS to end off this week, guys, there wasn't really much standing out this week. I mean, EG are still the biggest coin flip fucking team on this earth, dude. Holy crap.
They really are.
I love
Did you go for such ridiculous plays?
I love EG though. I like the roster. I love you some Scaring and Impact, dude, but good God, they're hard running it. They're God.
Yeah, I'm looking at the standings and I'm like genuinely so confused. Like the fact that EG and Dignitas are above, I guess they're the same rating as Team Liquid right now, but that FlyQuest is doing so poorly is beyond confusing to me. It feels like FlyQuest should be better.
The LCS 2021 Spring Split standings before heading into Week 5. Cloud9 sitting at the top at 10-2. 100 Thieves and TSM tied at second place at 8-4. Dignitas is in 4th place at 7-5, along with Evil Geniuses Team and Team Liquid. Immortals sits at 7th place alone at 5-7. FlyQuest 4-8. Counter Logic Gaming 2-10, and Golden Guardians 2-10. At least, hey, dude, we got the last teams correct, and we got the first team correct. And TSM, hey, was I wrong? Not really. To be fair,
I mean, yeah, you said 5th place, right? I said 4th.
What do you mean? What do you mean? I would never say that. TSM are the best team on this planet.
Oh,
bro, watch EG watch them place 5th next split, and I'm like, okay, I 5-headed. I put the wrong split on it.
I still think that in the end, TL will outperform TSM. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a hater, but I genuinely believe that overall the roster is better. I don't know why they keep putting Jensen on shit like Seraphine when they play against TSM. Just fucking put him on a control mage, man. Like, this dude is the greatest control mage mid laner in LCS right now. Just put him on a Rise, put him on a Nazir, let him smurf on him. Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
Dude, I don't know what's going on with Jensen in this split. I think this is his worst split. If you don't count his very first split when he came in the Cloud9, this is his worst split so far. He's been playing bad, dude.
But they've also been playing champions that are just so anti-Jensen, I feel like.
Like, does he have to be?
Like, he is not a Seraphine player, you know?
Do you think he has to play that playstyle because there's an Alfari on the team now?
Yeah, that might be it, but they're not even playing towards Alfari. Like, they're playing towards their bot lane. The game that,
advantages on its own.
So, like, the idea of Seraphine makes sense with, like, Olaf. Like, the fucking comp that C9 executed against 100 Thieves with Olaf Seraphine, like, that's fucking dirty. And
Nick, you're right. That's true. The Seraphine bot lanes are broken.
Seraphine bot lane is way stronger than mid lane. I 100% agree. Seraphine bot lane actually enables your jungler. And
it's true. TSM for life, baby. Let's go.
Holy shit.
Dude, I bought the TSM 2020 World Championship icon and I flash it whenever I win. They're like, wait, if you're a C9 fan, what's like, I just do it for BM. Dude, because Perks would always do that. Perks would always flash the TSM logo whenever times he would win. Dude, I love Perks, man. Oh my god. The Church of LS. Oh my god. Oh, I don't want to go to that church.
Seraphine is Z tier. He doesn't like Seraphine. Even bot lane. Dude, I would agree mid lane. I don't like Seraphine mid lane, dude. You lose so much damage output that you have to play a carry top. And it seems like Seraphine wants to enable like tanky frontliners that are like bruisers. That's like seems like to be the playstyle that ZSABC. Oh, that's a fucking. Why not just call her S, dude? LS, fucking
LS,
God
dude.
Damn it, man.
He calls 100 these 100 sins. Dude, I love that
shit.
Oh shit, I love that.
Seraphine is fucking godlike. I in the bot lane. I don't know about mid lane. I still don't buy it, but maybe. LS knows more than I do.
I'm going to talk about, before we move on to the LEC, because, hey, Rebecca, if you're watching, your team lost, so you owe me a show. Remember? I won the bet. If G2 wins, Rebecca, if you're watching this later on, or you have me on Instagram, you got to appear on a show. If I had lost, I had to eat 40 hot spicy chicken McNuggets. Guys, I was like, I'm afraid G2 wouldn't lose. I want to do that shit. Bro, I can't take spicy food. He's Indian. XD. He likes that shit. So.
XD, true, dude. And I can't wait to talk about G2 versus Fnatic because I fucking called it.
He's been waiting. He's like, I've been plotting this for like so many weeks.
They're never gonna fucking beat G2. Like, it's just not. This team is not built to beat G2. They're
but for
built to beat everyone else.
I think Cloud9's been looking pretty good all the way around. It's hard for Vulcan though, because I think in terms of Vulcan right now, even outside of the Reginald drama he had with him, Vulcan's been playing pretty solid. But in the LCS, I think Ignar, Huhi, Swordart, and what's the other guy? Core JJ.
The other guy? Core JJ is the other guy?
To be fair, right now, he's not like we have a stacked support line in the LCS.
I think we have a fuck. Core JJ is still number one, dude. Like, Core JJ is still
Are you like
excellent.
Shogi, the same thing that LS does
Dude,
to Shogi?
What is Core JJ doing wrong though? Besides his fucking ADC randomly losing his mind and ending it in so many.
He's playing fine.
I genuinely haven't seen him make a mistake for 2 games now. Like, he made a mistake. He made one mistake 3 games ago. But like, I genuinely am like watching this and I'm like, this is not Core JJ. This is Jensen and Tactical underperforming, and their jungler not having the right synergy with their top laner. Like, it is everyone but Core JJ. His rel is still dirty.
I have to ask you this. So before, because the LCS 2020 Spring Split, guys, it's only going to be 5 weeks. This is the last week, actually, right? No. Is it the last week? Is it only 5 weeks this time around, or?
I don't fucking know. I thought.
No, actually. I thought it was longer. Nevertheless, doesn't matter. So, because this will still stand. Who's going to be your MVP so far? Who would be like your mid-split MVP?
Dude, it's not even close, Blabber.
Blabber? Yeah,
it's not even close. Yeah, like, who else could it be?
I was going to say Core JJ.
No.
Come on, man.
Dude, he's playing great, but he's not Blabber-esque. Dude, this dude, after C9 beat 100 Thieves, I would be genuinely flabbergasted if any team left up Olaf. Like, this dude on Olaf and Udyr, this entire last fucking 10 weeks has been built different. Actually, genetically constructed divergently, dude. I've never seen any jungle difference like this in all of my years watching League, actually.
It's out. If not Blabber, who else would you pick, though? I think Swordart is someone that
I really don't think it's close, but if it's not Blabber, I guess
Sword Art has made a pretty big impact on TSM, though. I think so.
No, I don't even think he's the best player on that team. I don't think he's the reason why they win. I think that
in terms of how he impacts them to make them actually,
But he's not even. I would say that Blabber's like the main reason why C9 wins.
Also true, yeah.
Because like Sword Art is like the third best player on that team right now.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that Power Revo and Speaker are both playing better, personally. So I would not say Sword Art. If you had to go with like 100 Thieves, you'd have to say Someday, but he's not not able to hard carry past like his mid laner's deficiencies. If you go like
Dardoch, why did I say Sword Art? I was gonna say Dardoch.
Dardoch is interesting, but
Dardoch
I still think that
as most valuable player though. That classifies as that.
If you consider like if you take this player off the team, how many wins do you lose type of thing, then you have an argument for Dardoch versus Blabber. I agree with that.
But in terms of most valuable doesn't mean best player. If you had best player, then Blabber probably is the best. But in terms of if Dardoch wasn't on Dig, I don't think he would get all these wins.
Yes, but I also don't think that with like if you swap Dardoch for Blabber for Dig, you still get more wins. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
so
right, you can't like if you do that comparison, then it's not fair. And also, I think that Afromu stepped it up too. I just think that I don't think it's close this time around.
I think if the only players that I would even throw in there, I don't know why I said Sword Art. I was thinking of Dardoch, and I say Sword Art. I was probably between Blabber, Dardoch. Afromu's been pretty valuable too on Dig.
No, but like you can't ever put Afromu about Cork JJ. I would lose my fucking mind. Yeah,
I would personally say it's only been two people, just Blabber and Dardoch for me personally. I think they've been both playing fantastically, honestly.
I think that Dardoch is a reason why they win, but I don't think that it's a consistent like. I think they have to play the way Dardoch plays to win because they have so many deficiencies that he has to play cheese picks like Kane and a bunch of shit that other teams wouldn't play because it's very high risk.
Vulcan, I love Vulcan, but I don't think Vulcan's been the most standout player he was like last year. I think he's been playing
Vulcan's playing great. First of all, let me just clarify that. Great. But Vulcan is playing great because Blabber is opening up the entire fucking map for him. Like Vulcan is enabling Blabber 100%, but Blabber is just opening the entire map. There have been games this split where not only has he ganked more, but he has like 20 more CS than the enemy jungler. Like something ridiculous. Even on like Talia, he's out farming the enemy jungler on like Udyr. It's crazy, man. Like I think the only jungle diff that's ever happened, and I don't even think it's 100% Blabber's fault, was against the game against Svenskeren on EG, where he was playing Graves against Talia. And
what's Warren? Hi, Warren. Put Blabber on a different team. I highly doubt he would be as good.
But you can say that. Literally, we said the same thing about Perks coming in and Niski going to Fnatic, and now without Niski, Blabber would suck. It just hasn't happened. So I think that's just bullshit. You can't put him.
What's the topic? Oh, we're talking about your guys' LCS 2021 mid-split MVP. Obviously, if it's not going to be Blabber, it's going to have to be somewhere around Dardoch or Afromu because they've been literally so valuable into how Dig has been. If Dig did not have Dardoch and Afromu, and it was just Blabber there with some other random support, I don't know if he would get the same thing done. That's why I said Dardoch and Afromu. I think they've been able to help the rookies perform a whole lot better than they actually have, than they probably would have performed if they didn't have these players. Now, Blabber, to be fair, does have star players, but I can put a counter argument out there. You can have star players and still suck. That's another argument there too.
Yeah, and also you replace fucking Sven and Vulcan with a mid-tier bot. I'm trying to think of like not a completely garbage, but you replace them with Sword Art and Lost. I would say that they're a mid-tier bot, not because of Sword Art, but because of Lost. Mm-hmm. He's still the MVP of the league by a clear margin. Like I don't like even if Vulcan wasn't enabling Blabber to the extent he is, and I'm not saying that Vulcan is smurfing it too. I 100% agree. Like Blabber's pathing alone is enough to get him MVP every single season. Like I genuinely think that. Like you look at some of these creative ass plats that he does. I think we actually broke one down 2 weeks ago on the show. He was playing Rek'Sai against a Lilia. Lilia out-pats the Rek'Sai. Lilia out-farms the Rek'Sai. The only way the Rek'Sai wins is by out-ganking and by ganking or counter-invading the Lilia. The way that Blabber played it was fucking immaculate. He went from his red, did his blue, skipped his Gromp to drop a ward on Raptors so that Vulcan could roam and give him pressure. Then he finished his blue side, then invaded. No other jungler does this shit besides like Yankos on G2. Like, there's no one else in the league right now that's actually able to play poker with the enemy jungler and out mind game them every single time.
Oh, forgot. We got to do our LCS 2021 Spring Split All Pro team when all things are said and done. I don't know, because this is an interesting split to put a first place team, though. It's like, who's the best mid laner? Fuck, I don't know. Perks? But, like, in the games, Power of Evil? Maybe? I don't know, dude. Like, this is going to be the weirdest split to do all those type of, like, rankings. And
mid lane is weird. I agree. I think it is Perks by a very tiny margin.
Yeah, because Power of Evil, he's no soft him outside of that Syndra game. He's played fantastic most of the weeks.
I would give the edge to Perks only because he's played more styles, but not necessarily because he's played one style better than Power of Evil. I just think that him being able to play melee mids.
Who would be your best top laner though? Like even best top laner is like what the like. I guess I don't know.
Oh no, wait, no. I think that's Someday very clearly.
Someday, yeah. But it's also like, is that because it's just his? It's not because of his name. Has there really been a true standout player to the point where they're stealing a spot just because maybe outside of Blabber in the drone position?
Yeah.
Like if you're actually ranking the teams this year, it's like you could put anybody there. Honestly, I think Finn has not been that bad. I think if you put Finn like top,
no, I still think that it's clearly Someday and then Alfari. I'm trying to think like
Impact's not been that bad either, though.
Yeah, I agree that Impact is in the same tier as Alfari. I'm just trying to think of like Hooney's also deserving of the same tier. I don't think he is because he has only looked great in the recent weeks on tanks. But his GP is clean. I don't know. Yeah, it is tough. After Someday, it's tough.
After Someday, it's tough. I don't know who I'm putting in these.
I do want to comment on K4 Polos, by the way. C9 biggest problem is when Blabber underperforms. That's why he's MVP. Like, I agree. If Blabber underperforms, C9 struggles heavily. That's my point. Like, but he hasn't underperformed. So you have to give him the props, right? Like, right now, with the level he's playing at, he can have a top laner like Fudge hard inted every single game, and he's still hard carrying the team. Like
he has to do. I imagine he has to extra path towards topside. You can literally see in the games he has to make sure he goes topside just to make sure Fudge doesn't run it down on them.
Yeah, there are 2 games where he had to actually do that. So the fucking TL final was he TL final game 5. He actually had to just camp Fudge's lane, and it didn't matter. But yeah.
All right, guys. If you guys are watching the stream, there's 11 people watching tonight. Thank you. Could you please like the stream? That'd be greatly appreciated. There's 3 likes. How about we have like 7? I'll be cool with like 7. But I know I like you guys. Also, Warren's in our Discord. We like to rag on him because he's a TSM fan. We love you, Warren. What can C9 do to win a championship? Actually, just go to another fucking region.
Wait, what championship? Any championship?
Like, Worlds or MSI? Hey, I'm being honest here. They could have won MSI last year if they went. They're that good, dude.
Dude, okay. Now, if you're genuinely asking what C9 needs to do, it's to replace Fudge. Like that's what they need to do. The rest of their team
okay, Chad. Because I know you're new. If you're talking about like championships, you're talking just domestically, replace Fudge. But they're probably gonna win with Fudge anyway. So, because they have star players on our team. If you're talking internationally, they're not winning with Perks. Oh, did we talk about the import world drama? Yeah, we did. Rewind the stream back to like the beginning, to about like the 30-minute mark. That's where we talked about it, Michael. But yeah, guys, moving on to the very last thing, pretty much just the LEC. Okay, for the LEC, my mid-split LEC 2020 Spring Split MVPs. So to be fair, it's a tie. I have Larson and I have Treats, actually. I think Larson has been insane. If you look at LEC and you look at Larson, that guy's been, holy shit, this guy's been carrying them. My God, he's so good.
It's hard. I won't say anyone in G2 because it's just unfair.
I love G2, man, but let's be honest, they haven't had MVP quality performances. Maybe outside of Reckless, though. Reckless has been that for them.
But you can't just look at stats. That's the thing. Like,
it's not looking at stats. I look at gameplay, though.
When I'm looking at gameplay, how do you like who's better than Wonder in the entire league?
Oof.
Like who's better than Caps in the entire league? You can't put Larson above Caps. Like
in terms of just the split, you could. It's just by mechanics,
by stats, or by like actual. Because if you looked at the game against Fnatic, Caps is behind Niski. But you cannot tell me, like, he's losing to Niski. He's like down 10 CS. If you actually watch the game, Caps plays that game like he's supposed to, which is enabling his jungler and giving up mid pressure. So he's playing correctly. So like I can't fault a player for being down CS when they're playing the game to enable someone else.
That's true.
And a lot of G2, and a lot of G2's plays have been to enable their side lanes this split. So I don't know. Like it's I would agree that Larsen's the MVP. Personally, I would put Larsen as MVP because his stats is kind of nuts.
Smurfing. TSM, what are you doing? Treats have been smurfing. Like the same argument you made for Blabber. Dude, if Treats wasn't on SK Gaming, let's be honest here, would they be this good? Probably not. Gen X is actually not. Gen X is literally an Aatrox one trick in LEC. It's so sad what they do to him.
You're right. You're right that yes. Gen X season MVP, maybe, yeah. It's just hard to not give it to Larsen, isn't it?
Or Inspired. Like, Inspired's been pretty good too. Inspired, no joke to him, he's been fantastic. Like
Inspired's the best jungler in EU. 100%, he's the best jungler in EU right now. At this moment in time.
In terms of ADCs, the ADCs have been pretty outside of Reckless, the ADCs have been pretty for LEC. To me, I don't think I've seen anyone stand out other than that one guy on SK. What's his name? Jezu? No, Jezus is their ADC because they have Blue as their mid laner. Jezu is okay, but it's like outside of Reckless, it's like I don't know. Oh, what's up, Sean? Michael says, I'm super impressed by Trees. Like, what the fuck was he doing on TSM? Dude, Reginald's brain turned off. He put in Biofrost over Trees.
Yeah, why didn't you keep that import, Reggie? Huh? Why didn't you keep that import?
Okay. Okay. So, Chaz, here's how the championships works. Domestically, there's NA, EU, China, and Korea. You can win championships here in the regions that I just said twice a year. So there's 2 championships all the way around. Then internationally, there's MSI and there's Worlds. Those are the events that matter. So C9 has won 3 domestically, and they won an IEM back in like 2014. That doesn't count. I don't count IEMs, but the IEMs don't count for shit. But that's pretty much what championships are for League. Worlds would be like the NBA Finals, as you know what that is. That'd be like your Super Bowl, your NBA Finals. MSI is more like a smaller big level competition. That's pretty much it. Hansama's not been that good, man.
Wait, Rob, are you actually convinced that Selfmade?
Oh, I forgot about Selfmade. Oh, my bad. My
I
bad.
100% disagree.
Selfmade?
I 100% disagree. I don't think he's
over Larsen. It really does depend though. Like in terms of juggling, it does depend because jugglers have to do so much to enable a team to be good. I don't think Selfmade's been bad either.
Okay, so it Inspired over Selfmade is
that's what
is a good debate.
Okay.
Yeah, Inspired over Selfmade is a decent debate because it depends on whether you think Larsen is carrying the team or if you think Inspired is enabling Larsen. So it depends on how you look at it. I personally think that Inspired is playing well on his own without Selfmade or without Larsen, I mean. So I personally think that Inspired is the best jungler right now, especially considering the way Selfmade has played recently. I think that his game against G2 is fucking pathetic. And I can show you an actual clip to show like why he got jungle diffed against Yankos. So like in the biggest games, Selfmade is not playing very well this split. That's what I'll put it as. He's good at shit stomping really bad junglers, but I don't think that he's playing very well this split.
Bwipo, bro, there are so many
against the top level talent. Sorry,
Bwipo is literally Jizuke for top laners. That's what he is, unless he fixes that. He's literally the reason why they'll lose or win games for Fnatic all the time. And then like people are such weird Bwipo stands. Like if he wasn't on Fnatic, dude, no one would care about this guy. Who would be honest here?
Yeah, I mean, okay, so let's talk about. Can we actually talk about G2 versus Fnatic?
Yes.
Here? Yeah. So let's go. Let's just pull it up. I think I sent you the links for the 3 important points in that game, and I'll try to explain why.
We go to the actual game. Cap, can rewatch time.
And don't even come at me with the Fnatic BG2 though. They literally beat him on internet issues when Wanderer had like a 200 ping, man. Like, come on. Yeah, there's no fucking world in which Fnatic outperforms G2 with the roster they have right now.
Skill shot. In 1 second. They do blame Hillsang. It's the same constant issues for Fnatic fans. See, people like a random weird Bwipo stands, Hillsang stands. It's like, guys, I don't think it's Hillsang's fault. I think Bwipo has just not been that good. Like, and people just make random excuses for this guy.
How is that an excuse? How is it? No, I'm not talking to you, by the way, Nightwing. How is G2 having internet issues an excuse? That's an actual thing that happened. He actually had 200 ping. And if you look at before the ping versus after the ping, you'll see that G2 was winning and then they started losing. It's not an excuse.
G2. Oh, I highlight. Oh my fucking god, dude. G2 versus Fnatic. There we go. I found it. Let me get it right now. G2 versus Fnatic Spring.
Yeah, last year they had Reckless, so they actually had a chance to win. Yeah, I agree. Last year Fnatic had a chance to beat G2. I give you that. They had a better ADC last year.
I'll say this before we start talking about G2 and Fnatic full, bro. The hype video for this game was beautiful. LEC production
is insane, dude. I agree.
Amazing. They're actually smurfing the hell out of this production. Good job, LEC. Let's go into the game. Come on, skip the ad. I do want to say thank you to everyone who came out tonight and watched. Definitely means a lot, you know. Make sure you guys are doing your thing with liking the stream. Definitely helps out. The drafting phase you want at a certain time. I'm bringing it up for you guys right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you said bring it up at 2 minutes 30 into the game. Okay,
yeah,
let's get to the point.
Maybe it's like 5 seconds earlier. I don't remember exactly, but I just wanted to. This game is like literally the perfect game to watch if you're like trying to climb as a jungler or as a support player. Fucking watch this game and see what Jankos does, because this is just League of Legends at its finest. This is not Bwipo inting, by the way. Look at the mini map and look at Olaf. Actually, can you go 10 seconds earlier
in the game? Yeah, sure.
10 seconds earlier in the game. So he's clearing his Gromp, right? A classic Olaf clear, if anyone has played Olaf, is top to bot. You get blue buff, so you can spam your axes over and over again. Come to bot with low HP and full clear, and then do bot gank, something like that. Now he clears his Gromp, and he realizes that Bwipo is just hard pushing top because Bwipo knows that, hey, the chance that Olaf comes up here is very low. Jankos invests his entire early game to this gank. He ghosts in because he knows that if he puts a Yone behind against the Gragas, this game is going to be really fucking hard. This is not Bwipo inting. Bwipo's flashing into the bush was inting, yes, but now Bwipo pushing up in the lane was not inting. That was Jankos outplaying the fuck out of the enemy team. Like, that was just good jungle play right there. So if you just back like 10 seconds right there.
10 seconds?
In the middle of the game. A little more.
A little more.
Back a little more. When Niski's TPing in.
Okay.
Okay, so he goes in. Right here, Bwipo can, I think, still flash out if Niski TP comes in. Like, he's got to flash that axe up. Because now he flashes down. That's just troll. Flashing down is just troll. But anyways, mechanics aside, I just want to give props to that decision making, because that's fucking why Jankos is just that next level talent, because he's not better mechanically than Selfmade. No fucking person in the world would say that he's mechanically better. Selfmade doesn't make that play, guys. He plays optimally. He plays efficiently. But the way that Jankos plays is how you need to play against top level competition, because you go to internationals, you can't just play optimally. The Koreans and the Chinese are just going to be better than you. The way that Jankos plays the game is just actually so fucking fun to watch, because he's playing poker. He's actually playing poker with the enemy team. And then if you go to the next point, here's where I think that this was just a jungle diff game.
You wanted it at 540. All right, let me speed this up a little bit. So. 540.
And by the way, right here, look at Caps. He's literally hovering his jungler. He's down 4 CS. His lane is being pushed in. He doesn't give a fuck. He is all about helping Jankos out of this early game, getting a massive lead. Look at him. He's literally roaming with the jungler the whole time. So if you want to say Niski outperformed Caps this game, great. He beat him by 10 CS. Caps enabled his jungler. Like, that's what he did. Like, okay, so yeah, is this where it is?
You said 5:30. You said around 5:30. So
yeah, 5:30 in game time.
Okay, there we go. Right, 5:27, 5:30.
Yeah. So right here, actually, maybe it's. Oh, they already got the kill. It's 30 seconds before that. Sorry. They already got the kill.
So before?
Yeah, just go like 5 minutes.
5 minutes after? Okay.
No. 5 minutes in game time. Yeah. No, 5 minutes in game time.
Yeah. Let's so let's go. Okay, stop going up. 5 minutes in game time. Go back. Okay, there we go. Around right here?
Yeah, I think so. I think this is where Lily is pathing down, right? Maybe. Now I'm like forgetting. I don't know. Okay, fuck it.
I love
I just go to the next timestamp. It's basically what Lilia is pathing down.
9:10 game time. Okay, 9:10 game time. So that might be too. Okay, 8:56. So you said 9:10. Okay, so Fnatic got a kill on Upset. I think Upset has been pretty good.
So right now,
Fnatic,
the game. Look at the game state. It's still even. Lilia has the right idea. You're pathing down. You know that you need to gank bot. You know you need to dive bot, and then she stops. She goes towards top because Bwipo is spamming in fucking comms. I need help. That's what's happening right now. And this is where you, as a jungler, need to be like, fuck you. You lost lane. I need to help snowball the game. Look at this fucking disaster of a play bot lane. Lily is down there. This goes completely differently, by the way. And that's that. This is the issue with Fnatic. There are too many characters talking. Because if you rewind that, I guarantee you the reason why Lilia did stopped pathing towards bot is because Bwipo's in his fucking mic, mouth breathing on this fucking guy and saying, I need help. I'm about to lose the game. Help me. No, you don't gank the losing lane. You try to dive the bot lane. That's the only play for Fnatic to come back into this game. And it's just a massive disaster. Upset dies. Niski TP's in for nothing. And I think he dies right after this. Or he has to blow his flash. It's a disaster, and the game's over after this.
Bro, I saw this shit and I was like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, I forgot what point I wanted to make at 5:30, by the way. But this is what I mean. This is the reason why I don't think that Fnatic will ever beat G2, just like 100 Thieves will never beat C9 in this iteration of the roster. They just counter them at every point. I actually think that Jankos against specifically Fnatic is a better jungler at enabling his laners, and then the laners are just better. Every one of them is just better than
that Gragas barrel. That Gragas barrel where he
it was so good, dude. It's so good.
Guys, he's been waiting all week because the Fnatic that beat G2 a few weeks ago. He was troll. He was like,
dude, I was getting flamed as saying that. Oh, how are you talking about internet issues? I'm like, are you kidding me? Did you watch the game? Did you watch pre 10 minutes when they didn't have internet issues and Wonder was smurfing and he just randomly starts ending it? You think that's just not
They're like world-class team doesn't have good internet. I mean, that's how the internet works, guys. I don't know how I'll say that.
Yeah. I basically I'm not saying that like in a best of 5 Fnatic can't win a single game. Yeah, maybe. They're not winning a best of 5 against G2.
No.
It is not happening. It's like it's actually like I would say that Rogue actually have a legitimate chance of maybe taking 2 games is the max I could probably.
Rogue is better than Fnatic right now. That like it's
yeah, 100%. And the reason is because they have real win cons in their mid jungle. Like their mid jungle is good enough to enable the rest of the team to perform. I don't think that Fnatic has that. And Selfmade can play solo all he wants. And by the way, this rel engage is just dirty, absolutely dirty. But like the issue is that they just don't have the mid jungle synergy, and I swear to God, Hilly is just the most coin flip player I've ever seen in my life. So even if he's like super on, I just don't see Selfmade and Niski ever being able to outperform Caps and Jankos. I don't think
they're bad players. It's just that there's such a gap. Like because it's crazy how people were talking about G2 looking weaker to split. Yet if you look at the record, they're sitting at like literally 10-2. They've actually just been winning consistently. Though their gameplay has been looking kind of suspect early on, but that's always been G2. The gameplay looks suspect early on, but then they pretty much just clean it up before playoffs, and they completely dominated Fnatic this time around. Internet issues. Bro, that's gonna be the best meme ever is internet issues.
Yeah. And seriously, like, by the way, I do want to say that this game, I understand Bwipo's frustration because he needs to be ahead in order to win the game, like you guys were saying in chat. But the issue is that even then, Selfmade has to play towards Bwipo and understand that this is possible. Like, you can't fall behind. You know that. So why are you not playing towards your laner? He's pathing towards top, but he's not creative enough like Jankos where he can actually say, hey, I need to take a really creative pathing. It might cost me a lot in terms of what I might lose, but it needs to be done because that's how we win the game. This risk is worth taking. And Selfmade just doesn't have that I don't know, that pathing ability right now. So I don't know. I think it needs to be Bwipo that takes the major risks for the team, but he's not beating Wonder. It's just not happening.
Oh my god, dude. It was cool to see that, like, I don't know, like, I really don't think the Fnatic players are as bad as what they're showing, or even some of their gameplay. Like, this was gonna get punished at some point. Like, if you guys go watch their previous games weeks ago, they're just honestly just diving at stupid times. They're just honestly running in.
They're not coordinated at all. They're completely like scatterbrained in their approach right now, and it frustrates it. It's really frustrating because I think 2 weeks ago we were talking, and I was like, "Wow, they really seem to have found their groove in terms of playing through self-made." They're all buying into the same philosophy. They're playing top lane tanks and playing a hard pushing mid laner. I love it. I really like their style right now, and they're playing towards getting into the late game. And then they suddenly just switch up their strategy 1 week later, and they've just been losing for the last 2 weeks. Yeah.
Also, yes, Nick, I want to talk about your team too. SK versus Fnatic will be interesting because I think SK Gaming has been performing insanely well. I think that Gen X will be the only bad player on your team, but other than that, Tinks has been pretty like you have a really solid team. I'll say that. You have a really good team actually. Gen X sucks,
Agreed.
dude. That guy's trash. Other than that, it's pretty good.
And by the way, I have to eat crow on a team that I thought was going to be good, and I have to now admit that I was fucking wrong. And that's my boy Broken Blades team, Schalke.
Oh,
I was a Schalke stan. Listen, it's not it. I was wrong. I have to admit I was wrong. This team is playing through top, which I like. Like they have a style that they play through every time. They're just not good. Their bot lane is just not good at all.
Like,
it's tragedy.
Dude, every time I watch an SK Gaming game, Gen X is always on Aatrox or Gragas. It's like, goddamn, it's like they're gonna tell you some stupid interview. Yeah, he can carry. We want him to carry. Then why are you always on Aatrox and Gragas then? We don't know. We just prefer that. No, you don't. Stop lying.
Yeah.
God damn. But no, like overall, I personally think if they play towards if Tinks and Treats, if they play the way that they've been playing, it's possible they overtake Fnatic actually, because they look way more coordinated than Fnatic do. S Gaming definitely look like they could beat Fnatic. And I don't know what's going on with Fnatic this year. Like there were some weeks where it looked really good, and then other weeks it looked like complete trash.
I still think that they're gonna eventually figure it out because Fnatic is Fnatic. I don't ever count them out, just like I never count out TSM. But it's looking like they need to fucking time out, figure out their shit, and you might need to just be like self-made. You take the fucking 1v9 role again, because that's the only shot I see of them getting a cohesive style down. I just don't like Bwipo on non-tanks right now because the rest of the team is not nearly good enough to follow up on this highly like knife's edge macro style that they're trying to execute.
All right, guys, before we end here, do you guys want to see my queen? Got to simp for Pokimane all the time. We're going to be a tier 3 Pokimane sub. That's what you got to do.
Yikes.
Dude, I went to see what the rewards would be if you're a tier 3 sub. That's just terrible. Bro, there's no premium Snapchat. There's no way to contact you. Why? What?
Yikes.
No premium Snapchat. No way to DM you. Like, be like, hey, I'm a premium subscriber. I like your content. Just a bunch of emotes. And you get to be a mod. Oh my God, Warren. God.
Yikes.
Oh my God, just yikes. I felt nice. What the heck? That's a girl. Oh no, I don't know, man. Like, let's see. Oh, Reginald.
Rob, are you a TSM and Fnatic fan?
He's a TSM fan.
Curious. And a Fnatic fan though?
Pokemon, it's average. Sneaky is hotter.
That's
okay,
you guys are Exodia. That's the Exodia right there, dude. TSM fans and Fnatic fans. Oh shit.
Oh dude. Hey, I like G2 as well as C9, but guys, TSM and Fnatic. Oh yeah. You guys are crazy. TSM and did he make a twit longer? I think he made a twit longer. Let me see right now. Oh my God, he wrote paragraphs. Okay, I'm gonna try and browse through all of this instantly quickly. This was Reginald's giant twit longer he put out. Okay, my thoughts on the LCS. First, I want to say that I went overboard with my comments towards Vulcan. Since then, I've reached out to him personally to apologize. We had a good conversation, and he made it clear that it wasn't taken personally. The thoughts I truly wanted to express were the were that there are problems with the LCS and there will be a natural progression to league minimum salaries for players. 3 teams are already significantly making cuts to their LOL budget. I do recognize, however, that my communication was distasteful and offensive. I grew up in a low-income immigrant household and worked many different jobs, including, as many of you know, Trader Joe's, where right after I quit to be an LOL pro, I have firsthand experienced the grind and sacrifices of many, and it's amazing to see what this game and the LCS has done for players, staff, and others today. As everyone knows, I sometimes let my emotions get to the best of me. He said that last time he would stop doing that with the whole Lena situation. Just to put that out there. He said that with Lena last time. He straight up said that. But then again, why would you expect him not to lie? This is a learning lesson for me. Moving forward, I will work to explain myself in a more clear and professional way. That's not true. I don't believe it. When talking about serious topics, especially in a public forum. This is a long post, but I am hoping you will read it to the end because it contains a lot of context. There are a lot of nuances to operating an esports team, and I truly want to be thoughtful and meaningful conversations around the LCS. As a former player and a current owner in the LCS, I desperately want to be competitive internationally. My dream is for a team from LCS to win Worlds. Not going to happen, buddy. And I run TSM with that goal every year. I am frustrated to see our organization's players and fans putting in so much energy and passion every year, and we keep coming up short.
Dude, oh my god, it just falls on deaf ears for me, man. Like, everything about this falls on deaf ears because, one, he's coming from a position of weakness, right? Every single time he gives these thoughtful posts only after fucking up majorly. Like, that's what TSM's style is. Like, they do a major fuck up, a major PR blunder, and they come out with a really thoughtful, elaborate post. Now, we could disagree on, like, he should have 2016 to 2020 or 2014 to 2020, whatever he wants to have. Like, the issue is the person delivering the message is actually really important to sell the message. And we talked about this earlier on in the show. You can't be the owner of the 06 org that goes to Worlds and fails and cry about the fact that you never succeeded.
The dude's org's got
every import that you've gotten, every import you've gotten, every NA resident that has been on your team that's actually been good that you've traded away. Like, you've done so much wrong as an org in terms of what we want as NA fans, in promoting NA talent, in getting import players and cultivating their talent and making them feel as though they're at home so that more imports, more top level imports want to come. Like, you've done so much wrong. You can't be the one saying this, man. Like, look at Treats right now. Look at Broken Blade. Look at Kabi. Look at hundreds of different, maybe not hundreds, tens of different TSM players, like Tactical.
Dude, since Garen was a scapegoat for TSM, went to Cloud9 and got to World Semifinals.
It's just frustrating. It's just frustrating, right? Like, and that's why I'm so frustrated with Jack and Reggie's response to this whole thing, because there's a legitimate argument for more imports in LCS. They've just completely botched this. No one's reading this, man. None of the fans are changing their opinions anymore because you fucked it up so much. Like, the way that you've delivered this message, you've been elitist, you've been condemning legitimate viewpoints, and you've presented it in a way that makes us want to root against you, makes us want to root against your viewpoint, even though your viewpoint's a good one. You want more imports. I agree with you, but you just become so dislikable that the rest of the argument just starts to fall really, really short.
And hey, man, I agree with the LCS owners. I want the rule removed. I think the rule is stupid. Honestly, and
it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating to me because I genuinely want the league to have better imports like Perks, like Sword Art. Like, I want top level imports from other regions to want to come to NA, and that's why I was saying at the beginning of the season, like, Perks needs to be the guy that changes the culture and succeed in NA, because if he doesn't succeed, if Perks can't do it, who the fuck can? And most imports will be like, okay, yeah, retirement region. We knew it all along. Like, you want your top level teams like TSM, like C9, like Team Liquid, maybe 100 Thieves now, to attract that talent and cultivate it and nurture it and be able to show it on an international stage at the highest level and perform well. When you have teams that continuously do well domestically, like TSM, and then fall short internationally, your argument for wanting more imports falls short with it, because no imports want to come here. No imports want to play for a team that's going to fail internationally eventually. They want to play to win. The best imports in the world do. So you're going to end up recruiting half-assed imports like Finn and trying to create a league that isn't even NA, but not even better than the current version of NA. So yeah, I agree with the entire concept of we need more imports. Really disagree with the way that Reggie and Jack have went about it.
If you take a look at if you take a look at the past 5 years, LCS has not been competitive on the world stage, despite the fact that LCS invests as much, if not more, in terms of player salaries and infrastructure compared to the most other regions. This is complete. This right here is complete dog shit. He's negating 2 other years of. First of all, he's negating 3 other years of worlds, where that negates your team getting out of groups. The stats all wrong. I'm not even gonna read. I'm gonna look at that horse shit. So. Right now, it's important to acknowledge that LCS as a region has issues. We're not competitive with other major regions. No shit, Sherlock. Your team went 0-6.
Yeah.
This is not a problem that we can solve alone, and we will need Riot, the teams, and the community to understand the core problems and work together. The most important problem we see is the player base size and talent we can draw from. Player bases ranked accounts bronze and above from op.gg, LPL within this is 70. That said 70,000, right? 70 million? No,
70 million.
70 million. Okay,
yep.
70 million. 70 million. That's what 2 million. 2 million essentially. LCS has just 1 million, but you gotta kind of factor in that's not just in terms of players on the highest ranked ladder either.
Yeah, and again, this argument also falls short because yes, we have half the player base, but we also have way more imports than any other league already. Mm-hmm. You're saying that we need to import more, but maybe 3 imports. Yeah, that might be a reasonable argument. You're saying we need 5 imports just to compete. We can't find 1 or 2 NA players that can fill in and slot in and be decent. That's a bunch of bullshit. And I can say that about Reggie specifically because you had Tactical on your team. You let him go to Team Liquid. You had Treats on your team. You let him go, and he's performing really well at EU. You had Sven. You had Mithy. You had amazing players on your team, and they're doing much better off of your team. So how are you telling me that just because you're going to bring in more imports, your team is going to be much better? I don't buy that. The only team that can make that argument, and less so now with Fudge, by the way, is C9.
Or Team Liquid to a certain extent.
Team Liquid, I think it's bought most of its talent. So if they're saying that if they buy more imports, they'll succeed. Yeah, I guess then that's a good point because they've been good at finding talent. I don't know if they've been good at cultivating talent.
They've been at buying talent.
Yeah, they're really good at identifying and buying talent. I don't know how hard it is to buy talent when you have fucking Jensen to choose from and then Alfari. Yeah, no shit. We knew they were going to be good before they got here. But yeah, I don't know how many teams can really use this argument because you're not even good at talent acquisition in NA, where you have direct access to your fucking solo queue ladder. You can invite players to your gaming houses and see them perform. You're saying with all of those things in place, you're still not able to find who is a better talent than someone else, but you can find that talent if we expand the pool and allow you to import a bunch of players. That's what you're telling me. Bunch of bullshit, dude. What you're going to do is you're going to buy the big brand players, buy the brands and bring them in, and try to generate revenue that way. You're going to try to bring in the fakers of the world. But again, in the long term, it's going to fall short because none of those players want to come at 10A. They don't want to play for a retirement region. So it's frustrating. The way that you do it is not the way that Reggie and Jack want. If you want to bring in more imports, you start by exactly what everyone is saying in chat, which is getting rid of the minor region import rule, doing small steps like maybe increasing the import
restrictions to 3. Even if you don't want to lift the whole thing, can you put the imports to 3 then? Why does it only have to be 2?
Marginal steps forward is the way to go. This whole all or nothing approach that these owners are taking is so
how many paragraphs is this? Oh lord, this is 5. Okay, so I got about 10 minutes. I think I can get through the whole thing.
Okay.
When strong players from other regions come to NA, they have to train in a higher ping environment and have longer queue times. The ping worsens practice quality as it is actually different from the ping that pros play and compete in during matches. That's true. A lot of pros have vouched for that. That is a true thing. As a former player, I know this is a large disadvantage as it creates different muscle memory that does not translate as well to real matches on LAN. Overall, this means that players have a worse quality of practice against lower quality opponents and are able to practice less frequently. These are some of the difficult challenges that LCS faces, and I believe that changing the import rule as it currently stands would be one of many solutions that can be implemented to help make the LCS more competitive. I do recognize that even if the import rules were changed, LCS would still be at a disadvantage. These problems are not easy to solve and are not as simple as opening a East/West server. There are simply not enough players, which means queue times would be even longer if this approach was taken. Not all regions are created equal. That's true. Okay, I agree with that there. That's true. And if the expectation is for the LCS to compete against the other major regions, the LCS needs to find a way to even the playing field. Not the worst. Okay, I agree with some things there. Teams are currently
that's just obvious, yeah.
Yeah, teams are currently investing at a major loss because we believe in Riot and we want to make our mark on the global stage and prove that the LCS is still a premier league for our fans. When the LCS was at its greatest, CLG versus TSM used to peak at like 600k concurrents, which means like concurrent viewers. Where is it now? If the LCS teams can't perform internationally, I believe that fans will lose interest over time. I agree with that because that's I think the reason why we've lost viewers. The LCS is just not performing internationally.
Yeah.
Remember, everyone around the world watches League. So if they see NA consistently year after year after year and never make it to groups, why are you watching this region then? That just part of the course.
Yeah, I mean, I also think that it has to do with competition doing much better too. Like LEC is fucking amazing production, and they're upping their game by a lot. I think before when LEC was just like NA light, then we had a lot more EU viewers wanting to tune in. But why would EU viewers want to tune in to watch a clown league like ours? Like now, yeah, I agree.
Teams will give up on world's aspirations and focus on regional competition, leading to drastically lower salaries across the board. This off-season alone, you can see that there are only 4 to 5 orgs that are investing heavily into creating competitive rosters. The other half have already scaled back their investments or have
really weak argument, considering half the orgs had to do that because of COVID and all of the investors pulling out because of COVID. Like Golden Guardians literally had a better roster than TSM going into this year, and they had to give it up because of COVID. And Golden State Warriors, pulling out the investment team. So, disingenuous argument.
The other half have already scaled back their investments or have already begun to make this transition towards LCS minimum salary 75k. So, for my town to make that, you would have to work at like a railroad. Damn, that's a lot of money. 75k a year is good. Holy shit. I wish I made that. I did my taxes earlier this year, guys. Yeah. I mean, it was okay, but not good. Since there isn't a reasonable way for them to build world caliber rosters under the current set of restrictions. In addition, there has been some concern that with any change to the rule, there will be less representation of NA talent in the LCS, and it will have an adverse effect on viewership. I don't believe this to be the case.
I agree with that. That statement by itself, I agree with. Because you can't tell me that if Faker fucking replaces Pobelter on CLG, that CLG fans would be upset. So don't give me that argument just because they are not NA.
We earlier. The best teams that you guys all watch have the import players, the best ones.
Yes, I agree that it doesn't have an impact on viewership.
I don't believe this to be the case. First, elite local talent such as Spica. Okay, that's already trolling. Okay. Let's say Tactical, Blabber, and Vulcan, and new up-and-coming talent will still find their way onto teams as long as their skill is comparable to their global counterparts. Second, our fans have been incredibly accepting of players such as Bjergsen, Centauran, Jensen, Impact, or JJ, Perks, and Scarin, Lustborg, etc. These players have not only elevated the level of the region, but provide compelling narratives that make it easy for fans to cheer for them. The goal shouldn't be to allow LCS teams to pick up the full World Championship roster and field them in the LCS. There should be restrictions on this. However, all teams should be given access to the entire worldwide player base so that all teams have an even playing field to develop talent from. We believe that increasing global competitive strength is more important than indexing solely on local representation for the growth and longevity of the LCS. I could agree on some of the parts here because,
the end part I agree with 100%.
Yeah, because like I said before previously, in the show, there could be a Caps, a Bjergsen, a Faker out there in Korean Chinese solo queue that no one's going to take a risk on because the regions are just too competitively. Now, if you have that rule in place, Jack and Reginald and other owners can't take a risk on this guy because of that rule.
Yeah, but how the fuck do they find this guy, man?
We
literally cannot find and give revenge coaching for 4 years, and he's been at the top of the ladder. And
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
like I don't. Again, it's great in theory if you have a great talent acquisition team, and all you need to do is get a guy from a different region and plug and play him here. I don't trust that these orgs know what the fuck they're talking about in finding these players. Like, you still have CLG doubling down on Broxa and Finn as their go-to imports,
doubling down on
and hoping that their fortunes change. Like, I don't get it. I don't buy it. So yeah, falls on deaf ears again.
So far, this issue has been discussed without nuance in the public. I believe that the import rule discussion has been overblown, and the teams, including myself, have communicated poorly. Also true. There are solutions and approaches that we can work together to resolve these issues. I do think there is a middle ground where we can loosen up the number of players that can be imported to the amount of time that it takes for them to become residents. Over the last few years, TSM has invested in talent development through our academy and amateur programs, of which a lot are now playing in the LCS and LEC. That's the one guy playing that's the two people playing the LEC. I would say a lot. We have tried to enhance every other aspect of performance within our control by providing a world-class facility, running scouting combines, boot camps in Korea, investing in coaching staff for our LCS and academy programs, and more. Even when implementing best practices from other regions and investing into talent development, the current problems that LCS teams face with our player base and ping issues are too much to be viable internationally. It is now pivotal moment to discuss changing the import rules and also looking for other solutions to even the playing fields, or see ourselves relegated to the status of a wildcard region. For those who are in favor of maintaining the current rules or even changing them, I'm open to thoughts on how to tackle these problems in order to create a more competitive league in a global system. Now, there are comments here.
Good words. No, the last paragraph is exactly correct. Like, he's open to marginal improvement, right? He's not all or nothing. He's saying he's not all or nothing.
Back in the day, Reginald would be, that wouldn't be happening. Just telling you right now. Back in the day, he would be like, fuck that shit. But, okay, so I get what he's saying. And I do think it was communicated poorly. And guys, what he meant when he meant to Vulcan is that Vulcan would be making the LCS minimum salary. He didn't mean minimum wage. People just kind of took it that way, but it was kind of said that way. It's like tomato, I guess.
And I still don't think that Vulcan would be making the minimum LCS salary. I think he's
dedicated Vulcan is to playing. Holy shit!
He's the second best support. You're saying that all of a sudden you're going to find and manage to get 8 other supports that are better.
Also, Vulcan said that Reginald's tried to, in the past, tried to get him. So, Vulcan, your salary. If you're going to TSM, he's giving you the minimum.
Yeah.
But overall, I do think people are a little sensitive when it comes to these things. And it's like, I'm speaking to you guys as fans. If you guys watch this later on, you guys got to stop being sensitive and look at things and stop speaking from an emotional point of view and think about it logically. The LCS already has a lot of imported players. You're already supporting teams with more imported players. That's it. You're already doing what you say you don't want to do, but you say you hate that. And teams like Dig, Golden Guardians, IMT, and CLG have the lowest games viewed. They just do. Their content is also low viewed. So you don't even support local talent anyway. And I don't think we should be catering to these people who don't even support it now anyway. You don't support it right now. You aren't currently supporting it. So changing the rules is not going to really be that big of a deal. That's my last take on it, because I do have to get out here in like about 3 minutes. But yeah, I agree with some of the things he says, but in terms of him they could TSM, and it's like, come on, dude. You took out Treats because Doublet probably wanted Biofrost, and you probably knew Treats was better. But you did it just for Doublet. Like, it's things like that, man, that make me go, come on, dude, you're making some bad decisions here. Yeah. Also, yes, Nick's also correct. Where is the EU Masters for NA? NA Academy is garbage. Another argument for you fans out there that say, I want NA talent. Why do none of you watch Academy? Academy peaks at like 4,000 viewers. I watch Academy because I think it's kind of cool.
I watched it last season. To be fair, I can't watch it this season.
But it peaks at like what? It peaks at what, like 5K, 3K? None of you guys don't watch that shit. You guys don't even watch it. What? You don't watch it. You don't support it. It's like people want LCS to focus on local talent. You guys as the viewers don't support it. It's just the facts. Like, You can look at it in views. You can look at it in terms of YouTube content. You can look at a fan engagement. Alora probably has less followers than the best NA player here. Not even Double Lift or other best NA players. Like just the average NA player right now, Vulcan, right? Alorum has less followers than Vulcan on Twitter. That's just a Twitter following. I'm not mentioning anything else. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's just me personally. It's just like, oh yes, TSM lost Johnson, Tactical Treats, Vinskaren, Sven. The list goes on. They just can't develop talent.
Yeah. But the thing is that no one, like, as far as I'm concerned, it's not the fact that they can't develop talent. It's the fact that they can't actually implement that talent. Like, if they had Tactical and they actually recognize his talent, if they had Johnson recognize his talent, why are they trading him and ending up with Lost? Why do they have Lost right now? You tell me. Like, it's just frustrating to see that. I just wish that Jack was a little better about his wording, because I think he could have actually made an impact, because Jack, he has a point to come
if
from.
If you watch the press conference, if you watch the press conference Travis put out on his channel, that's probably what he meant in terms of what he was saying. It came off so wrong. Oh my god, Jack could have been the perfect ambassador to getting the fucking rule lifted. Like LCS, all they need to do, try baby steps. Put 3 imports for teams. Try 3. Just try it at 3. See how it works. Try it at 3. Little baby steps like that.
Or even just getting rid of more minor regions as
take away Brazil.
Any type of step forward, I'm for. I agree.
Take away Turkey, Russia, Brazil, Vietnam. What's the other one? Japan. Make them not count as imports. Please do that. Just like you did Riot, just like you did with Australia, do it for them. I don't see why you wouldn't. Yeah, there's some good players over there. In the playing stages, I saw some fantastic players that I know are never going to get shots in big regions because they count as imports. You don't want to take risk on that guy. We're taking risk on Newbie. And guys, Newbie's not good. Just put it out there. Newbie's not good. But anything else you want to say, man, before we head out of here?
Nope. No, I don't.
Oh, dude, yeah, Turkey. Closer and Broken Blade came out of that region. Dude, Gadget last year. Gadget on Unicorns of Love was a good ADC. Gadget could have been an LCS caliber ADC. Oh, wait, counts as an import slot. Fuck, right? I'm glad we have that lost guy who's...
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. But, Reginald, I get you were sincere with your apology, but I would have just not apologized. You fucked if you do, you fucked if you don't. People think you're an asshole. It's always going to be that way with Reginald. He could apologize for, I don't know, curing... He could literally cure world hunger, and people still wouldn't care.
Yeah.
And he had a hot girlfriend too. And this will prove one thing. Girls will date unattractive men. He dated Lena. Just let that sink in. Guys, if you're not
at one point.
If you're not attractive, it's okay. Girls will date you. It's okay. Reginald's probably like on a scale of 1 to 10, probably like a 5. Lena's like an 8. So don't count looks, guys. Don't count looks.
I'd give Reggie a solid 6.5, dude.
Okay, this guy's just fucking. This guy's being PC.
Kappa pride in the chat.
A girl told me I was a solid 9. I was like, thank you. What do you mean? I've had a girlfriend before. What do you mean?
Dude?
Oh my god. I have experience with lots of the ladies. I have ladies throwing themselves at me every day.
Oh yeah, same, dude.
I'm just saying, like, you don't have to be super attractive to get laid. It's all about your personality, and if you make a girl laugh, I figured out that'll get girls. Making girls laugh will be perfect, honestly.
True.
That's it. Sometimes you just gotta just be nice. Don't be a freaking weirdo. A solid -9. Thank you, Warren. Thank you. I'll see you tonight. You know I'm streaming tonight, Warren. You better keep that same energy. But I'll see you guys later.
What are you streaming?
On my main channel. I'll be streaming.
What are you streaming?
We're probably talking about porn. Fucking girls. I'm just kidding.
Right. Well,
we'll have
if you want a duo, hit me up, dude.
Dude, I'm terrible at the game.
I mean, I have Smurfs, but yeah.
I have actually run it down for you. Yes.
Fair enough.
-C9. Oh, thank you. No, we're gonna win the split, Rob. We're gonna win the split, Warren and Nick. I'll see you guys later. So as you guys know, most of the time the show is on Monday or Tuesday. Just depends. Honestly, I'm very dead on Monday sometimes, so just depends. Make sure you guys subscribe, like the stream afterwards. Peace out, guys. And I'm signing out. Peace. Have a good day.
Peace, guys.
Dr. Mundo sucks.
Fuck you.
I haven't ended the stream.
No.